Another special edition here on A2D Radio, a little combo show, a little fix, AM and the PM, right here, A2D Radio. We're all live from our quarantine studios. Still, that might go on until Labor Day. Who knows? But we're here to talk sports with you. We're here to bring you some knowledge and here to have some fun. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Ralph Dellavecchio, Steppy down there, Frank Vespe, Nick Juliano not with us tonight. He'll be back with us next Wednesday. But the show must go on, and here we are. A ton to talk about. And as always, every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our doc. Got to make him yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find him on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Gentlemen, later on the show, dumbest thing of the week, like we do every Wednesday. The Last Dance reaction. Actually got it on in the background right now, rewatching it again. And you saw Carmen Electra earlier, and it never gets old for the people out there, for the family. Love from Carmen. Didn't age at all throughout this documentary. But a lot of fun stuff come out about it. We've learned a lot of stuff about Michael, and we've also had a little clash here with Horace Grant and Michael Jordan. So that's sort of fun, and we'll talk about that later on the show. Eagles plans for Jalen Hurts. Listen, I said it on a post earlier. I'll say it again. Okay, you cannot come out today and say that's your third-string quarterback because anybody you draft in the second round, honey, the second that guy puts the hat on, that guy's better than Nate Sudfeld. And if he's not, then everybody should be fired immediately, okay? All right, we'll get into that. Second topic of the show. Our main topic of the hand, which Eagles will step up in 2020? And we all got a list of 5 guys that we believe are going to step up in 2020. Great list. I've seen Greg's different than mine, so I've already seen one list that's different. So we're off to a good start there. Not going to be given the same names, but we're keeping it away from the major names, right? We're keeping it away from Carson, we know. Fletcher, all right, Ertz. Some of the big names we're trying to stay away from, all right? Miles, all right? So we're trying to look for them under the radar guys that really need to step up in 2020. Right in our poll question, brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com. Tell them the boys from A2D saying it, 20% off, all right? The best in the business when it comes to gutter guards, deck restoration, everything outside, they got you covered at the Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com. The poll question, Sidney Jones will make a big, I think is that said wrong right there?
Make a big improvement?
Big improvement for the Eagles in 2020. There we go. Sidney Jones will make a big improvement for the Eagles in 2020. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We're live everywhere, and everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. Like, subscribe, follow family, comment in, chime in. We'll be showing all your comments, reading off all your questions. That's what we're here for. We're here for you. Even though some Jerome said last night, like, oh, it'd be smart if you guys actually read off comments. Dude, it was 10 minutes into the show, baby. We're going to get there. So calm down. You're going to come in the troll, I'll smack you in the face. That's how that goes. Because we read off everybody. We're here for you. All right? Let's clarify that again. Here for the people, and that's never going to change here at A2D Radio. So the poll question, Sidney Jones will make a big improvement for the Eagles in 2020. Agree or disagree? Listen, you guys know my stance on this. It's been like this for a while. I completely agree with the poll question. Listen, it's all about responses in life and the responses in sports, and it's something I'll say forever. And what we saw last year was a guy who could have quit, right? Easily can quit. Got an opportunity again later on in the year and made 2 gigantic plays for this football team. To me, I got to believe that's going to translate a little bit, right, and translate into this year. I believe getting Darius Slay on the other side makes your life a lot easier when you have a lockdown corner on the other side, and I think he can learn some things from Darius. I'm excited about Sidney Jones this year. I know not a lot of people are, and I go back to how Brandon Graham feels about him and my trust for BG, and I think all our trust for BG. I like this kid. I haven't stopped liking him. Injuries have definitely played a factor in him not being on the field or him not being consistent or him getting benched, whatever you want to say. But all I can look at is your most recent stuff, right? All I can look at is your most recent plays. And your two most recent plays were big-time plays. Coming off the pine to make big-time plays too. And the teams went right at you. That's what teams do. New corner comes in, we're going to find him, we're going to go right at him. And they did. They did, and what did he do? 2 big-time plays. So you got control out there. You cannot like him. You can think A, B, and C, and D about him. But I'm going to go off of his response. I'm going to assume he's got some toughness, and I'm going to buy into that, so I completely agree.
Ralph, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go. I agree to the poll question as well. I just think having, a guy in Roby Coleman to learn off of as well this year. Obviously, Darius Slay to learn off of as well this year. Coming to the Eagles, I totally agree. To the poll question for Sidney Jones to make a huge improvement. And and the spotlight's not going to be on him, right? Because as soon as he was drafted in the second round and thought it was a steal, his first year obviously didn't play. His second year, the spotlight was all on him because he was a top 10 pick that got hurt. His pro day slid down to the second, and the spotlight was on him in 2018 and didn't really shine that year. And then obviously last year, Tommy touched on it a little bit, about making those two big plays at the end of the season that really helped us out. The one against the Giants, the slant across the middle, broke that one up. And then obviously the one against the Cowboys at the end of the game. Obviously, the tape tells you what it tells you. So, I mean, I love it. I agree. I think it's going to be a big improvement for Sidney Jones this year.
Yeah, I agree as well. It's funny. We've kind of talked about this in the past, and it's not a popular comparison or kind of analogy, especially for, people in Philadelphia, because I'm going to compare it to a story and a player that really didn't pan out and is obviously on another team right now. But this whole Sidney Jones journey, in a way, has had some similarities to what the Markelle Fultz journey in Philadelphia was when he was here. Obviously, the Markelle Fultz story, we know how it ended. Way too quick, obviously, in Philadelphia. But you look at it, number one, came from the same university, so that's eerie there. And two, obviously two type of players that had a lot of hype, a lot of expectations coming in, and injuries kind of kept them from really getting the ball rolling. Now you look at it to where you're entering year 3 or year 4 of their careers, and with Sidney Jones, you're seeing that now he's being put in one of the better positions to possibly succeed, not only in this division, but at his position in the NFL. You look at a guy that you went out and got via trade in Darius Slay, a guy that's going to change the culture in that secondary, is going to provide a swagger to go along with Jaylen Mills, who we already know is very confident in his own right, regardless of if he's playing cornerback or safety or wherever he's at on the field. So when you have those two and you have a Darius Slay who's not, 23, 24 years old, he has some mileage in this league, he has experience, a guy that can take a Sidney Jones under his wing and kind of groom him and give him kind of that confidence that maybe he needs. And also kind of the pointers of, hey, I've gone through struggles in my career as well. This is what you can do to learn from it. This is what you can do from rebounding from it. I think, to Ralphie's point, there's definitely pressure on him, but he isn't expected to be the guy. If he was expected to be the guy this year, I feel like that would be huge expectations, especially given 2 years ago he was he was barely on the on the starting roster. He was always hurt. Last year he was a healthy scratch for a majority of the year. He's going to be given a shot to come in and be that number 2 cornerback behind Slay. And I honestly think, given obviously what he's shown in college and what he flashed last year, if he's not able to succeed in the situation this year, then he just doesn't have it. And that happens sometimes with players, regardless of what they do in college and where they're picked. But to me, I still believe in Sidney Jones, and I think given his ability and what he has around him, I really do think we're going to see him jump big time this year.
Well, I got to debate you on 2 things.
Okay.
So if you believe in him, then why compare him to a guy like Markelle Fultz? And then the second part of that is that's completely unfair comparison because of draft slots. We're talking about the number 1 pick in the draft. When you're the number 1 pick in the draft, them expectations are super high, super high. Sidney Jones, no matter what happens in his career, his expectations will never be that ceiling of expectations that you expect when you draft somebody number 1. That's the only issue I have with it. If you really want to compare him, and I look at a guy like, then compare him to Brandon Graham, compared to a guy who was a mid-first round pick, okay, that struggled, couldn't figure it out. We all thought he sucked, right? I mean, as a majority, people were like down on him. It was time to go.
Earl Thomas.
That's just my favorite comparison because it's the same sport and it's not a number. I know what you're saying injury-wise and like hype, but like when we talk number 1 pick of the draft in basketball, we assume that's a culture changer. That's going to lead us in a direction of NBA Finals. Every team that gets the number 1 pick in the draft in the NBA believes that's the pick that's going to change their franchise. When you talk about Sidney Jones, we never assumed that pick would change and catapult this franchise to new levels. You know what I mean? That's the only comparison when you can never compare a number 1 pick of the draft to a second-round guy in basketball. Could it? You talk about 5 guys on the court. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
so 5 guys on the court. You said if we got a superstar, we're pretty good. You know what I mean?
I hear you on that realm of thing. I do agree with you on that. The first to your first question on why am I comparing him to a Markelle Fultz if I don't if I believe in him with the whole Markelle Fultz thing. I'm just talking about the timeline of their careers in Philadelphia to where a few years down the line in their careers, we were having the same conversations with Markelle Fultz entering that final year when he was with the Sixers of, well, now he has to make that jump because he wasn't expected to be the guy. We're going to be patient with him. You obviously had guys take pressure.
One guy's been here 4 years, though. I mean, we're going on Sidney Jones' 4th year. I mean,
well, the other guy was here for 3. The other guy was here for 3.
Three. He played in a handful of games. I mean, you want to say he was here tops a year in terms of games played. You know what I mean? Like,
obviously. Sidney hasn't played a ton of games. I mean, we have to remember that between the injuries and him being. I mean, he was a healthy scratch for 90% of the season last year. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, my point is, at the end of the day, we looked at a guy, regardless of if he was number 1 pick. I completely understand that. So where in that realm of things, the comparison isn't great. Because number 1, the guy was picked number 1, the other guy was picked in second. But when you looked at a Sidney Jones, he was considered one of the better players in his position, given in college, obviously, as far as what he can bring to the table. Obviously, basketball and football is different because there's only, to your point, there's only 5 guys on the court, and then there's going to be a guy in the secondary. It's just different comparisons. My point is, we looked at these 2 guys as, okay, when are they going to take the next jump? You know what I mean? We saw obviously with Fultz.
No. In terms of that, in terms of like jumps, I agree with you. I didn't like. It's not a fair comparison for Sidney because I never expected him to be what I thought Fultz could be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. And listen, where you were on, you should have stayed on because you were on a point, and the point was change the scenery, stuff like that. Well, Bryce talks about Fultz playing better in Orlando. Well, change the scenery, right? I mean, sometimes it can be that thing you need, right? Where not everything's given to you, right? Because like when you can get number 1 pick, everything's given, right? And then it doesn't pan out somewhere, and then that switch goes off when you're traded. Like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. You know what I mean? So maybe that's a little bit of it. But no, I understand that. I understand the comparison. I always just like to compare them to BG because I think their careers are similar. Besides the injuries, like that's the thing you can compare them to Fultz with is not being on the field. Or on the court. Never at all. Greg?
No, I agree as well. I know it's not fun when everybody agrees to the poll, but I also agree, and you guys have kind of hit on everything.
Why do you think I'm trying to debate him? I know where this poll's going. It's a clean sweep. It's a clean sweep. We got to get some energy going in here. We're gonna be like, hey, get pom-poms going. We all agree.
But I think a lot of it has to do with his own internal stuff too. Because while you guys all had brought up, Darius Slay and Roby Coleman, there's no training camp. There's no OTAs, or at least yet, right? So that learning curve and that taking him under the wing type of situation isn't really there yet because they're not around each other. So a lot of it has to do with him. But, Tom, you talk about all the time with the response and taking the opportunity when it's there. It is time to put up or shut up at this point. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He can use the last couple of years as his change of scenery and use this with a new, secondary group around him as the change of scenery that we kind of thought might benefit him and move on from there. But I do agree. I do think we see big things from him. The injury bug probably crept in his head a lot more than he wanted to admit, and he wanted to think that he could get over it. But, he made those plays last year, and maybe that's the mental hurdle he has to get over to trust himself and trust his instincts and his ability. That was why we were so highly excited over that pick in the second round.
Well, you talked to like Vaughn Hebron came on here and talked about like Miles year 1 to year 2, the game slowing down for him. Well, you look at Sidney, hasn't been on the field a lot. So when you think and you don't play, that's when you get yourself into trouble. So to your point, like maybe maybe making a couple big plays down the stretch takes the thinking away. And maybe now you can become more just go out and play football, right? I mean, any pro you talk to, they say the same thing. Hey, when I stopped thinking, Vince Papale, same thing, right? We asked him when he felt like he belonged. As soon as I stopped thinking and went and played, right? You know what I mean? And that's what you're going to hear consensus the guys said. And the guys who don't make it are going to tell you the same thing. They're going to tell you, I thought too much.
Yeah.
The game was so fast for me that I just thought too much. And I could never just go play and react. And I think that's the thing that young guys fall in that trap. And if they're not successful early, they can stay down that line.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Now it's going to be failure. And that's why you give a guy like Brandon Graham so much credit, right? Because, I mean, it was done. It was essentially done here, and he kept fighting. Well, with guys like that on my roster, I'm going to continue to buy into Sidney Jones because of that. I'll say it a million times until you guys get tired of hearing it. This guy, Brandon Graham, supports Sidney Jones than anybody in the country. Probably more than his parents do. You understand? Like, he probably literally supports him more than his own family does. And that tells you something. And it tells you what I think Brandon Graham thinks of Sidney Jones, and what I still, and most of us, all of us here at least, until Frank goes, believe still in Sidney Jones. Frank?
Of course I still believe in Sidney Jones, and that's why I agree with the whole as well. It is a clean sweep. This is the last year on his rookie contract, I mean, he has no fifth-year option compared to Derek Barnett, and he's been a full 2 years removed from his Achilles injury. So I think it's now or never for Sidney Jones, and him playing behind Darius Slay and Nickel Roby-Coleman, it's going to give him that confidence boost. So I really hope he balls out. We saw what he can do last year. Let's hope he can do that for all 16 games. So with that, I agree.
And I just want to add one other thing, because right after I mentioned literally Markel Fultz, I got 3 text messages from people that are watching the show that are literally like, "Did you really just call him Markel Fultz? Did you really just call?"
Yeah, I was quite surprised that you compared him to Markel Fultz.
Delete.
Yes, exactly. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to still stick to that, but to kind of explain the method of my madness, the reason, and maybe it's just me, I felt like the both comparisons with obviously Jones and Fultz was that, and Tom, I think you and I can attest this more than anybody, because I think you and I were really clinging on to Fultz longer than anybody else here. A lot of people kind of gave up on him, and listen, I understand it. I'm not criticizing those that gave up on him, early, because you obviously see how it panned out. But I think you and I are really clinging on to saying maybe we still can get something out of this guy. There's still something left. And I think you can also say that with Sidney Jones. Now, clearly, there's more believers in Sidney Jones at this point than there were with Markel Fultz that time period in his career. But I think when you see flashes from a guy, going back to, obviously, like we've talked about numerous times, the ending of last season, it gives you a little boost of confidence, not only for Sidney Jones, but as a fan. So you look at him and be like, okay, there's something. You look at, obviously, like I said before, he was a healthy scratch for 90% of last season. Similar where Markel Fultz, for a good portion of the one of the seasons he was here, he was scratched. He didn't play, and then he came back at the end of the season, and he had a little a little shot in the arm, which was that triple double off the bench, ending a season. To where, okay, that's confidence. That's a signal that maybe it can rebound into something going in the next season. We obviously see how it panned out for one. My hope is it's going to pan out much better for Sidney Jones than it did for Markel Fultz.
Yeah, hopefully here. So I'm going to get to some of the family because they're flying in. Blackwell talking about Barnett got to come up big to our main topic at hand, which Eagles have to step up in 2020.
What up, Bryce?
What up, Bryce? J Mac, what's up, brother? He said Barnett and Jones big time have to step up. We're going to get in our list in a little bit, but you guys are right on track. Julio Vargas, what's up, guys? What's up, Julio? David talking about Michael Jordan, the best player of all time. David, we agree on something finally.
He's probably right on something.
Gavin Keller, agree to the poll, but if he doesn't play better, bye-bye. I mean, I think that's safe to say. Jake Friel, what's up, boys? I agree to the poll. Learning from Slay will be a huge benefit for Sidney, and that's some of the stuff we spoke about earlier on in the show. Don. All right, Tom, you don't need to smack people in regards to reading off comments. Kyle O'Brien, who did Sidney have to coach him? Jaylen Mills. I expect big things from Sid.
Yeah, so it's an addition by subtraction when you get Corey Unlin out of the building.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, You can't
Sorry, Don.
factor in the removal of Corey Youngland. That's definitely going to help the whole cornerback unit. So that's definitely going to help Sidney a lot by not having
Mr. Hoolis. I always go Hoolis. Sidney Jones has shown Asante Samuel type of playing, good in man and zone, but he was good at playing the ball and turning his head. But I thought he was not good at playing the ball and turning his head. I thought that was some of the issues he had. Michael DeAndre.
That played our whole secondary last year.
I don't think anybody got their head around.
Yeah.
The entire secondary. Michael DeAndre, the Eagles defense is going to be good. Can't wait. I mean, we all agree. Definitely on paper, top 10, depending on where you want to go with it. But, I'll say top 10 to be safe. And we got some more here. Bryce and NBA will be back soon. Brian says, never give me a shout out. Brian, you just got one, brother. What's up, my man? I think we gave you a shout out.
He also had a question as well.
Bigger bust, Odin or Fultz?
Odin.
Unfortunately. I liked Odin, but yeah, Odin's the bigger bust.
I was never a fan of Greg Odin.
Brian's from Oklahoma City. He lucked out on that one. The Trailblazers took Odin and OKC took Durant.
Well, at that time they were Seattle.
Yeah. Didn't save Seattle.
That was the rookie. That was his rookie year.
Yeah, they were still in Seattle during that time.
Yep.
And Bentley, Cobbs, how would you all feel with signing Logan Ryan? He's not a bad kind of older, though, but a solid option. Yeah, I mean, he's a solid option. I think they're pretty secure in their secondary right now. I know somebody like Tristan was talking about, are we going to sign a better running back? I think that's more of the conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah.
One, just to listen, you don't want to beat the tires off Miles. You don't want to do it. I'll say it a million times. I want him healthy in November and December. Lo Wallace, what's up, brother? He says, how y'all feeling?
Depressed.
How y'all feeling concerning the linebacker?
Depressed.
Not happy. Outside guys, I'm like this. Middle, I'm like that.
I'll ask you guys this. And
wait till you see my list, and you'll know where I'm at.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I
many people
probably have something in the list.
How many people have linebackers on their list? Raise your hand. Okay, good. I'm proud of the top three. I'm proud of the top row.
No, because you know what? Listen. I'll tell you what. This organization showed they can win without him. With this guys there, right? They've shown it for years that they can win without addressing it. So I hate it. I know Ralphie hates. I know we all hate it. But I don't got a linebacker on my list because I'm telling you, your two outside guys can play. They can play. Brown from San Diego can play. He can play. Now, can Davion Taylor play? Can Nate Gary play? I don't know. I think Davion can play. But the outside guys I'm not as concerned with. It's the inside that's the issue. That's the concerning thing because you have so many unknowns. Too many. But they're not on my list because I do believe if they don't think one of them middle guys are going to be their guy, I still believe they bring back Nigel Brodo. So I'm not concerned. That's why it's not on my list. Make sense? Because I still think they have that plan B in their back pocket. All right, we're not comfortable with TJ Edwards, Sean Bradley. Nobody's ever comfortable with the name Sean Bradley, first off. So let me go in my back pocket. We still can bring back Nigel Brodo. So just saying, that's why I haven't got too upset about it after Patrick Queen. Fair?
Gavin says, Ryan, do you remember when you said you thought the Eagles defense was going to be really bad this season? Are you still sticking with that? Gavin, hell no. I was saying that entering the offseason that obviously we were looking at there was going to be a lot of projected turnover. So we're obviously Malcolm. There's going to be a lot of moving pieces. Yep. Where I've been very, I've said this numerous times. Howie Roseman really impressed me with what he was able to do, not only, in the draft, but, mainly in free agency and trade, on the defensive side of the ball. I feel like they hit they hit it out of the park on defense. Offense, we'll see. Offense is more project-ish. There's more, big-time question marks. And I'm not saying it's perfect because, like we just said, we just spent the last, 2-3 minutes talking about how bad the linebackers are. But, to Tom's point, we've won a championship without our linebackers being, great. Obviously, our best linebacker, Jordan Hicks, at the time, he wasn't even on the field. He was hurt. Nigel Brodo was actually, he played very well that season. But, you had Camus Grugier-Hill. There's a lot of Band-Aid pieces, at the linebacker spot. So, I've completely done a 180 since, late December, early January to where I'm very, very confident in this defense. I've gone to say that, I think our secondary is one of the better secondaries, not only in the division, but possibly in the conference. When you look at it, safeties and obviously cornerbacks.
Man, I'm even bigger than that. I think the secondary is the top 5 in football.
Could be. Yeah, it could be.
I know people aren't going to like it, but when I got the best nickel guy in football, that upgrades me big time. Big time. I got the best nickel guy in football. So then I got one of the better man-to-man island guys in football too on my outside. Right there, man. I'm in the conversation top 10 deep, top 10 in the league in terms of secondary, which is them 2 additions. Rodney McLeod, good safety. Jalen Mills was a damn good safety in a minute at LSU too. So Jalen's been talking about it. Don't forget, he said, don't forget. He's be pretty good back here. So I'm really excited. And I know we're going to get to our list in a minute, fam, and we want your top 5 players that need that big years, right? Or improve, however you want to say it, for us to get to where we need to get to, all right? Or step up is the better wording. But we don't want you to use like the GOATs on the team, right? The easy ones. We'll sort of go under the
Carson
radar.
or Fletcher, no.
Yeah, go under the radar a little bit. Guys who need to step up in 2020, drop your list of 5 right in the comment section. We'll read it off. We'll flash it on the screen as well. And we're going to get into ours here in a second. Tristan Russo, I honestly believe Jalen Reagor is going to be a beast. And listen, I'm getting around on it because I like the way he talks. You can sell me on confidence, baby. So, I mean, he walks and talks it. He walks
got
and
the
talks
confidence and moxie.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Dean Jones, I haven't seen Dean in here before, so I want to give him a shout out. What's up, brother? As the linebackers, we won without great receivers also, but I still want them. Dean, ain't nobody saying I didn't want Patrick Queen, brother. I was running around begging for him. I love a pit middle linebacker. I can't tell you why this organization doesn't value it enough. I can't. I've been yelling about I'm 37 now. Oh, I don't. I mean, how long, man? Think about it. You do the math. I don't got time to do the math. I'm trying to talk. So you do the math. A long time. Besides the trot days. So you talk about the trot days. I wasn't begging for one. But our outside guys stunk during the trot days.
True.
So that's how I look at it. All right, to our top 5. Who needs to step up in 2020? And Ben says, anybody believe Brady is going to win his first game of the year? Well, Brady's going to win his first game of the year, or will he play in a preseason game? I would assume he'd play in preseason games. I mean, Ben, say that question again, because maybe I missed it.
Ben, you got to translate for us, brother. I don't.
Yeah, too much Sunday. I don't know. It could be an idiot.
Listen. I've been in the house, and maybe I had too much sun because I don't know what he's saying either. And I've been in the house.
Good.
What's up, Rob?
All right.
And Reggie says 2 Jacksons, Malik, and Deshaun. 2 great names, Reggie. 2 really great names. All right, Frank, fire it up, baby.
All right. So
while you're doing that, Frank, Lawless,
it's already ready to go.
How do you feel about Miles Sanders saying MVP season? Again, it's confidence. It's fantastic.
Love it, man. You got to walk and talk it. You want to believe it. You got to walk and talk it. Now, there's confidence and there's cocky, and there's a right way to go about it. I believe this is confidence. Okay, that's how I look at it and perceive it. Right.
Well, yeah.
So, go ahead, Greg. Yeah.
No, I was just like, what else do you want your starting running back to be? Right? Do you want your starting back? Yeah, I mean, I hope I have a really good year, blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah. No, I want my guy to have confidence in himself, his offensive line, his offense, his coaches, to sit there and say, no, I'm going to have an awesome season. We're going to blow this division out of the water, and let's go.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I want you walking and talking. Like, what are they going to say? Yeah, we'll see. I think I could have a good year. No, man. Aim high, baby. What do they tell you? Aim high, Willis. One of the best movies. 40-Year-Old Virgin. Aim high, Willis.
Bryce, great list, Bryce.
Bryce, great list. All right, who's up first, Frankie?
Well, you, Tom. So your list is up. So once
here we go
comes on the screen.
Now, I didn't know the whole thing going into this, but Sidney. Now this is in no, I don't want to say particular order. Just my 5 guys that need to step up. Sidney Jones, it's an obvious reason why. One, because you don't want to lose another second-round pick. We've already up. So you got to come in and play. And listen, you don't want to, even though we're strong in the slot and strong on the outside, we don't want to get in the business of babying, right? Or Band-Aiding. Sorry. We don't want to get in the business of band-aiding that second corner all the time. Make sense? So we need a guy. Does he have to be an all-pro? No. He just got to be good enough. Can we all agree on that? Just got to be good enough.
Yep.
And listen, you talked about last night. I say it a lot too. Best ability is availability. If you're on the field, that's a huge plus. You stepping up, right?
Yep.
I just need you to be better than Ronald Darby. That's all I need you to do. That's a first. That's a step.
And we want Super Bowl with Ronald Darby, so hey, you know what I mean?
Then we'll be doing really good then if he's better than him.
We're like Gucci Mane, man. Then we're like Gucci Mane.
That's dynasty talk then. That's dynasty talk, man.
My second guy, and again, in my opinion, I think it's an obvious name, a guy who has to step up. I know people are going to tell me, well, Tom, it's a rookie, blah, 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 A, B, C, and D, right? And I'm going to tell you guys this. We already were told our second-round pick's a third-string quarterback. Your first-round pick has to come in and play well. Has to. If you want to be a good franchise and you want to go to the playoffs for the fourth straight year, he has to be good, and he has to step up. Now, even though and you know what I mean by step up with him. We don't, he hasn't played yet in the pros, so we have no body of work to step up from. But step up. Be a number one, not a number one wide receiver, but be a number one draft pick, right? Come in, be impactful. We saw a lot of wide receivers last year outside the first round have really good rookie years, all right? So I'm starting to shy away from you can't be impactful year one anymore, all right? I'm starting to get off of that now. We've seen a lot of guys, later round picks, Hollywood Brown, DK Metcalf, right? Well, A.J. Brown. The list goes on.
McLaren Slayton.
McLaren Slayton. The kid from Denver. No, he might be in the second year.
Cortland Sutton.
He was a rookie, right?
Yes, he was last year.
No, he was second year. But still, his first year was pretty good. His first year was pretty good, to your point.
I mean, guys come in, be impactful, man. Like, you don't got to catch 100 balls, right? But be explosive, dude. Yeah. The things you did well in college, just translate it, baby. Just translate it right now. And then we'll grow and we'll get better as years progress, right? Simple. So, first two, Jones, Jalen Reagor. Listen, this one's huge right here, okay? Because now we're back to that. You look at take a minute, boys. Two of the first three guys here are second-round picks.
Yeah.
All right? We already are talking about the third second-round pick being your third-string quarterback. So it goes back to this point. You can't miss.
Yeah.
J.J. Ortega Whiteside, I mean, anything's better than last year, but it's got to be a big-time step up. I'm talking 40 or 50 catches. It's got to be 40 or 50 catches, JJ. And the bigger thing is, again, we talk about translating what you did well in college. You're a touchdown machine, right? So how about you start finding the end zone a little bit, right? Hopefully the game slows down on him. He's a big one. You can't miss. Another guy has to up.
Yeah, his red zone stats at Stanford were just insane. Because all they did, they got down to the 5 and they just tossed it up to JJ. He was catching everything. He got here, it's like, where's this dude at? Where's the guy at Stanford that called everything in the red zone? Dude couldn't even shift the field. But I'll let you continue on your list.
No, and you're right, and it's too much thinking, right? We talked about it earlier on in the show. If you think too much and you don't react and just play football, you're going to struggle. And he was a lot of thinking. He admitted to it. So we'll see if year two you're a little bit more comfortable, and now you can start go out and just run your routes and not think about it all the time, right? Number 4, Jaylen Mills, and for obvious reasons, man. I mean, you let Malcolm Jenkins goes, you move Jalen back there. We all love that. A former safety. I think he's going to be a perfect fit. I think it's his dream position. I think he has a big year, but still needing to step up. One of the leaders in this defense, needing to have a monster year for us. And number 5, we talk about JJ being one of the bigger ones. This guy's got a ball. Now, I mean, look at it. We're talking about a 7th-round pick out of this list we have the most confidence in. Think about that for a second. A 7th-round pick we have the most confidence in. Derek Barnett, 1st-round pick. So pull the list up for one more second, and let's count off what we got here. Sidney Jones, 2nd-round pick. J.J. Ortega Whiteside, 2nd-round pick. Derek Barnett, 1st-round pick. All right? Now, Jalen Reagor can't play. That's another 1st-round pick. I don't know. Ain't looking good. Derek Barnett's finally got to live up to that potential. And not that it's not there, not that we haven't seen it, but it comes back to consistency, boys. Consistency. Right? Boneheaded stuff, man. Stay on side. When I'm a D tackle or a D end, I look right at the ball. The ball is right there. You're taught. I played D line. You're taught at a young age. Hey, the ball's right there. You shouldn't go outside ever. So got to clean that up. And then again, the consistency side of stuff, man. Get to the quarterback. Double-digit sacks would be greatly appreciated this year in 2020. Okay, Derek?
Especially at that 10 million clip.
Yeah, that 10 million clip. Not only for us, but for you to get another contract either here or somewhere else. Listen, if you don't have a good year this year on a contract year, that's now two guys that were Howie picks on their fifth year struggle. Nelson Aguilar, Derek Barnett. Nah, Derek ain't Nelson. I think Derek has a big year this year. Double-digit sacks, gets his ass paid in the offseason.
And both of those guys had their options picked up. So they were playing at a clip higher than what they probably should have been because of their production up until that point.
Absolutely. And one fell on his face.
And hopefully this one doesn't.
Yeah. Yep.
Next list, Frank, you got it up ready to go?
Your list is up. So
Alrighty.
It is ready to go.
So I'll start with the guy that Tom finished with, and to me, he's my most important. Derek Barnett, I've been really hard on him over the last handful of years. I've said that, even though he came up big and obviously that play that we'll all remember in the Super Bowl, and, he's again, a guy who's shown flashes of what he can bring. That is that type, first round type talent. As a whole, he's looked more like a second round pick, third round pick type. So for a guy that, again, coming towards the end of his contract, we obviously need him to take the next jump because we could have made a ton of different moves on that one side of the line in free agency, in draft, in trade. And I know, obviously, Jim Schwartz loves him, but we basically said, okay, Derek, this is your job to lose. That's how much confidence they have in him because they could have gone – that could have been Yannick. You know what I'm saying? That could have been Ngakoue right there if we really want to get cute. But they still believe in Derek Barnett, and he needs to make that next jump. To Tom's point, obviously, we need to start seeing these early round picks start hitting, obviously. There's a ton of other – we look back at that draft and so many other teams around that spot and even in other rounds that hit. That's one that's kind of like it's an okay pick, but when you're taking top 15 overall, nobody can argue he's been a top 5. He's not a top 15 type player in that draft. There's no way. Top 40 maybe, but not top 15 at all. So he really needs to take the next step. Andre Dillard, again, there's a theme here with 1 and 2. You got to get to the
real quick. Right. Real quick about Barnett. No matter what he does, though, and what I was saying about him, and you were saying similar things. No matter what he does, the play in the Super Bowl makes him work that pick every day and twice on Sunday.
It'll be the legacy. Yeah, the fact that he got that ball. Yeah, it's his legacy. I understand that.
That's the only thing I can say, like, where it's never going to be a missed pick because of that play. That's fair.
Yeah, no.
I got the potential, though, as we both said.
The reason, again, like we talked about, I completely agree with you, Tom. I would never label it as a miss or a bust because, obviously, of what he did that. And he also had a really good season, too. He had a really good season that year. And obviously playoffs and then obviously heading – and here's what a lot of people miss, too. None of us, obviously, because we've talked about it. Everyone looks at that Super Bowl, right? But he actually had a better game against the Vikings. He dominated Case Keenum with the strip side. He was all over. So, and clearly that offensive line wasn't doing Case Keenum any favors. So where I feel like Ralph could be all over Case Keenum. But
everybody could be on Case Keenum. So
yeah, but at the end of the day, Derek Barnett, he'll never be a miss. But we've seen too many flashes from the kid. And like you said, Tom, the boneheaded mistakes, the offsides, so many, just the late hits. It's like if he tightens up the screws, this kid can really make a big jump. And they're counting on him. They're really, really counting on him.
No, they absolutely are.
You look at the theme with the first and second pick, in this list. You have to get to the quarterback, and you have to protect the quarterback. If Andre Dillard is your left tackle and they decide not to bring back Jason Peters, it doesn't matter what any wide receiver on this list is doing. Doesn't matter what any tight end on this list is doing, because Carson's not getting protected. And then he's going to be on the ground. So it doesn't matter what Alshon or Reg or Deshaun, it doesn't matter. you have to protect the quarterback first for anything else to work. Andre Dillard, he's been the focus, I would say, over the last handful of weeks in Eagles news about is he ready, is he not ready? Well, if he's given the spot, which Doug Peterson's words yesterday when he was talking in an interview, he said, okay, well, we're leaning towards having him be the starter for left tackle, then you need to step up. There's no, oh, well, we're gonna come on, we're just gonna ease him along. No, we could play that game with Jalen Hurts, not with the future left tackle, and the left tackle obviously day one starting in 2020. Sidney Jones, I'll keep it simple. We've illustrated why he needs to take the next jump. I'm not gonna go forward with that. We know why. Alshon for me. For this could have been two guys. It was either going to be Alshon or Deshaun. The reason why I didn't put Deshaun in this list, I mean, clearly he needs to step up by staying healthy, but he doesn't need to step up regarding his play. When he was on the field, he delivered. We all know what he did in that small glimpse, obviously, against the Redskins.
Yeah.
He's obviously important because he's a huge part of the offense, but I'm not going to take a shot at the guy because he got hurt. He didn't say, oh, I would like to get hurt today, so I'm going to leave now. Alshon, he got hurt, and when he was on the field, except for that final game where he played against the Dolphins, really wasn't that good. Like he really took a step down. A huge increase in drops. I'm not going to be one of those guys where, oh, he got slower. He was never fast. He started dropping a ton of passes. So for him, not only for the Philadelphia Eagles, him as a player, him as a person, him as a man needs to step up because he's like enemy number one now. He was hero 2 years ago, and I still love the guy. I still appreciate him. I think we all do here. But he's now enemy number one in this city. He needs to prove, and he needs to step up in the locker room as a teammate. He needs to step up in the locker room as a leader because now he's not the young kid anymore. He's a guy who's getting paid all that money to be here and to do his job. I understand he could easily be missed on this list because he might easily miss the first week, 3 weeks, first month of the season. But when he's on the field, when he's ready to go, he needs to have some pulse on the field. And finally, JJ Ortega Whiteside. I don't really expect a big jump from him. People call me a hater. I don't care. I just don't think it just really concerns me. But to Tom's point, he's a second-round friggin' pick, man. I mean, we gotta have one of these second-round picks actually have a pulse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, I'm not saying I expect him to do anything, right? We always talk about it. But he better.
Mm-hmm.
He better. You can't keep missing. And the Alshon thing, I think it's funny is, you're talking about enemy number one. Man, he's the only guy in Eagles history that dropped the pass in a big game, and people were picking him up off the turf. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know how many Eagles fans literally picked him off the Saints turf. We really picked him up, all the family. Picked him up over his shoulders. We're going to carry you back to Philly, Alshon.
It's a bad
never
pass.
see that. And went from there to hatred because of that scumbag Christina Anderson and her lies. Her lies. I would love to have her on. I'll expose that ass. We'll expose it. Ain't got no freaking forces. I hate the way she speaks. She talks down to people she's on a panel with. I would smack that freaking smirk right off her face. I'll get a woman to do it. Let me rephrase. I'll get a woman. So I get in trouble now. I'll get a woman to smack that smirk off your face. No, it's a great list. And you know what's funny is I left Andre Dillard out of mine, and I'll tell you why. Because he's got to play. I mean, Ralph, you can get all did I say I don't bring Jason Peters back, or did I just say he needs to play? What did I say?
Looks like somebody swinging Andre Dillard, baby.
No swing.
Looks like somebody's getting off the Jason Peters bandwagon.
Okay,
another lost soul. It's all right, Tommy.
You misinterpret. Because I won an insurance policy doesn't mean Andre Dillard isn't our left tackle of the future and our left tackle right now. But the only reason I didn't put him on the list is because I expect him to be a bookend left tackle. Because we usually don't miss
and he will be.
All right. I still bring Peters back, but that's it. We're not there. Let's talk QBs, Ben. What do you want to talk about? I mean, we already know what Carson needs to do. I ain't going to put him on the list. He don't need to step up. I thought he stepped up last year. Great. I expect him to continue to step up. So I ain't putting his ass on this list.
Maybe he wanted Jalen Hurts on the list.
Or maybe he wants Nate Sudfeld on the list.
Sudfeld.
Third round quarterback. So, third string quarterback.
You say stud?
Yeah, Studfeld.
Studfeld.
Real quick. Where'd that go? Hold on. Here we go. We're gonna find out, Ralphie.
I can't wait.
Week 1.
He did good against Khalil Mack. He did good against Khalil Mack. Can't take that away from him.
Chase Young better not eat him up. That's all I'm saying, baby. You're gonna be going and running and picking up Peters.
I ain't running for shit.
Jason Peters will fly right by him.
Yo, Ralphie, the goat's behind me, baby.
Yeah, is he?
We'll get into that. Don't worry. That's coming soon, family.
Yeah, I got to ask you something about that, Ralph, once we get there.
Ralph's like, what do you mean? LeBron's not playing. I don't see LeBron back there. Freaking guy.
Whose list is next?
Mr. LeBron is the GOAT. Ralph.
All right.
All right, I'm going to take a break. I'll see you guys.
Number one, I got JJ Ortega Whiteside. Obviously, got to step up this year, man. I know he was a rookie last year, stuff like that. But, man, DK looked good last year. He was a second rounder. And the dude caught a lot of balls. I mean, we had a high praise for JJ, obviously, coming into this year. We only have, 10 catches for a buck 45.
10 touchdowns, though. You're supposed to hit 10 touchdowns.
Something. Obviously, number 2 is Sidney Jones. I think this is his year for, obviously, I agree to the poll, but I think Sidney Jones, this is his big step, man. Obviously, learning from Darius Slay. He gets to learn from a veteran and a stud in Darius Slay. The spotlight's off of him, but I think this is his year to step up. Number 3, Derek Barnett, man. You gotta step up big time. Obviously, Ryan touched on it. 2017, you were part of the team for the Super Bowl year. You did your part, but after those 2 years, you started going downhill a little bit, right? You did the boneheaded offside plays a lot of times during the 2018-2019 seasons, right? We couldn't find you sometimes when you were on the field. Couldn't find you. So that's he needs to step up big time coming into this season. Number 4, Rodney McLeod needs to step up. Obviously, 2018, Rodney McLeod. Obviously, 2018 had a good year. 2019, actually 2018 he got hurt, and then 2019 came back. But now he's the big man. He's our backbone now for our safeties. And number 5, who did I have for number 5?
No. Stop.
Alshon Jeffrey. Alshon Jeffrey, like Ryan said, has many tough times last year. Dropped a lot of balls last year that he was catching 2 to 3 years ago for us. And I just think he needs to step up. So go ahead, do my fucking thing like you always do every week. So go ahead.
Oh, we're already getting into woe is me. It's already woe is me. Look at this.
What are you talking about? Just go ahead, get into it, get it off your chest.
Listen, we're talking sports, baby. You think it's going to be all this is disagree radio?
Go right ahead.
You think I'm just going to if I disagree with something, let you just get away with it?
Go right ahead.
Maybe sometimes I let you get away with stuff, but. So listen, you put Rodney McLeod on this list.
Yeah, he needs to step up.
Let it, Ralphie. I just let you go. Now we're going to do this. I just let you explain it. Now it's rebuttal time, and then you come in and you rebuttal back to me. That's how the game works. So I heard that 5 times. That's not really dissecting something, baby. Okay, that's saying the same word over and over and over again and hoping it sticks somewhere. Ain't sticking with me. Step up from what? He had a good year last year coming off an ACL injury. We always know that it takes that 2 years to really get back to yourself. Pretty decent year. Wasn't terrible.
Well,
we already know.
My opinion is that he's the backbone no matter what. He's the backbone in that as the safety. He's the backbone. If he goes again, who's there to replace Rodney McLeod? Will Parks? Come on, man.
No, but listen, injury and playing well are 2 different things. So if you expect him to get hurt, that's a different conversation. You're talking about stepping up. If he's on the field and he's healthy, you know what you get from Rodney McLeod. There's so many other guys on this goddamn roster that need to step up over Rodney McLeod. I mean, are you kidding me? Mr. Linebacker, you over there ain't picking a damn linebacker.
I'm not going to put any of
You go to a former Pro Bowler and Alshon Jeffrey. You go to a Pro Bowler and Alshon Jeffrey. You go to 2 former Pro Bowlers as your step-up guys over a middle linebacker.
Yep.
Ralph, how do you not have?
So what am I going to have? TJ Edwards, dude? Come on, man.
How are you not going to have your boy on this list?
Who? Andre Dillard?
Yeah. How do you put Rodney over him?
Just starting left tackle.
How can you have safety? It's your track record. It's your starting safety with a track record. A track record, honey. He didn't just go up and
step up.
Oh my!
Wait, so are you trying to tell
a former Pro Bowler? What are you talking about?
Ralph, we want a Super Bowl with him.
And Alshon could be a Pro Bowl. He still needs to step up. Talking about.
I don't agree with either one of you guys putting Alshon on the list. I don't agree with Alshon. There's if Alshon's on the field, you know what you get. That's why I don't agree. Like if you want to talk injury, that's a different conversation.
Get out Alshon this year?
Hold on. If Alshon and Rodney are healthy and playing, I think we know what we're going to get out of them. So to step up isn't fair with them two. If they're healthy, that's a different conversation. So if they're on your list saying, hey, they got to be healthy with Alshon, then I agree with it, right? But in terms of him being on the field, dude, every time Alshon's on the field, he catches touchdowns. So, I don't have an issue with Alshon. Every time Rodney McLeod's healthy, he's a damn good safety in this league and got paid like one. So, now not on the 1 year deal.
Now he's going to be the back. He doesn't have Malcolm to rely on anymore, right? He's the number 1 safety on the fucking team now. Okay, he's the backbone now. So if he goes, what the fuck's the whole safety going to
Ralph,
be?
you said it yourself. Ralph,
goes where?
You said it yourself. Ralph, you said it yourself with your own words last week that Malcolm was never truly a safety the last couple years. So what are you talking about? You can't switch it and say, oh well, now Malcolm was really the number 1.
You're right. You're right.
Ryan's right.
Yeah, go right ahead. Oh, go right ahead.
All I'm saying to you is Rodney McLeod, you're talking about if he goes. You continue to run back to if he goes. Where's he going? So if you're saying he gets hurt, that's a different conversation than stepping up. Like on the field, we're talking about guys that are everything being equal and healthy. This is this conversation. The conversation isn't what injury riddled guys need to step up. The conversation is who needs to step up in 2020, right? That's a conversation. So if we're talking about all things being equal and everybody being healthy, Alshon, I'm whatever with. That really doesn't hit me too much. But Alshon, when he's healthy, we know what he does. All right? Rodney McLeod, when he's healthy on the field, we know what he does. There's so many other guys on this damn team that we don't know what they are. And you go and pick 2 veterans that have a track record. And you don't pick Andre Dillard. You don't pick Jalen Reagor.
I don't need to.
You have to step up. You're pick. Oh,
why do you not need to pick on? Why do you not need to put Andre Dillard on?
I don't need to.
Why?
I don't need to.
Why?
I'm not
why
asking.
Why do I have to have Andre Dillard on my list?
Because you were harping on the guy for the past several weeks now.
That's your boy. How you won a Super Bowl with Alshon and Rodney? You didn't win anything with Andre Dillard. What are you talking? I like Andre, okay, but you can't compare Andre Dillard to Rodney.
No,
it's impossible.
You're right.
So now you're backtracking. Come on, man. Fight for your child. Fight for your child.
You're right.
He's moonwalking backwards over there. He's moonwalking backwards. No, listen. I don't. Like, I didn't hit Ryan for Alshon. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that one doesn't. But when you put 2 vets on there, that's when I got to start coming at you. You want to put 1 vet? You want to put Rodney or Alshon on there? I still would have hammered you a little bit, but we can't have 2 vets and step.
So I got to do what you got to do. So I can't put any vets on there because it doesn't please you.
No. You can do whatever you want to do.
I'm going to do whatever I want to do.
Do whatever you want, and then you get exposed for doing it. That's all that happens.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
That's your exposure. That's fine.
Yeah. That's fine.
You want the doors to open up and all that shit to fall out. That's on you. All right?
Then it opens up.
Well, it's open now. We already peaked it open. It already slid a little bit. And the skeletons are dump picks. That's when skeletons fell out. 2 skeletons.
God damn it!
Oh, I love you, Ralphie. No, all things being equal, though, two guys that need to come play football, though, right? I mean, we can all agree there, all right? So I'll take it easy on you a little bit, but I hear you. I mean, Rodney and Alshon have to come play football. If we expect to be a good football team, we need our vets to play well. So I don't disagree with that. You were just making the premise off of injuries. That's all.
Don. So Jason Peters is watching this with a smile on his face.
With no NFL contract, that must suck.
Oh, my God. You are so salty tonight. Man, that's going to ruin all that food over there. You're on a diet and everything. Now you got all this stuff going into your body.
Look,
You run out of batteries for the remote control, like your Xbox controller? You had a battery?
He didn't even make his bed. That's how tired. That's how upset he is. He didn't even make his bed.
I'm chilling.
I can see that.
No, you're upset.
The Xbox controller out of batteries, Ralph?
No, I'm just trying to.
I'll run some over. I got some extra over here.
You learn a lot about a guy when you debate a guy, right? Learn a lot about character in debate, right? What I'm learning is I got Mr. Softy over there now. Can I get a twist cone? I'm really dying for a twist cone. Sprinkles, absolutely sprinkles. Come on, common sense. I love you, Ralphie. But if you think we're going to do this and not argue with each other, you picked the wrong night, babe. Go. I don't know what show to go on, but go find somebody that don't debate.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll look around.
Look at this guy. Ooh, you worse than Saints fan. You worse than Saints fan.
Nah, I ain't throwing no parade.
All right, let's get to some of the comments here before Greg and Frankie go. Dean Jones went to make a drink, go to the bathroom, and then Tom's still yelling at him. Canal, Ralph's given up since we passed on Queen and Mary. I don't give a shit no more. I won't put right in the cloud on my list.
He slumped on his chair and everything.
Yeah. Oh, it's phenomenal. Dillard is not proven. Oh, we know that.
Yeah.
Adam Rush says, Ralph, eat a Snickers, bro.
I'm on a diet. Not really.
Yeah, we all had Isaiah. We've all had J Jaw on our list so far. So all three of us that have gone have had J Jaw. So that's been a clean sweep. He goes Andre Dillard, Nate Gary, Sidney Jones, T.J. Edwards, Derek Barnett. A very solid list, Isaiah. Really, honestly, because you're so weak at linebacker. Somebody's got to step up there, and you put two of them on your list. So unlike Ralphie, you put a precedent on the linebacker position, as we noticed. All we heard in draft day was all smoke and mirrors.
Oh, T.J. Edwards. Come on, man. Come on.
Well, what we've seen on draft day was all lies. Your love for linebackers now looks like it to be a lie to the people. All the reactions, all the upsetness. Was it planned? Was it scripted? Are we in movies now?
Didn't take Patrick Queen, and now we're not going to have that All-Pro. I mean, he's already on All-Pro with the Ravens. Feels like it. So
he is the second he put the hat on. Yep.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
He hasn't even signed the contract yet. They're already fitting him for Canton too.
Yeah.
Go one down there, Julio. Austin Scott needs to step up. We don't have another running back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely, brother. That's spot on. TTP, what up, baby? Take the Lakers shirt off, and everybody will go a little easier on you, Ralphie.
Never take it off, baby.
Hashtag facts.
Get off live. I'm on vacation, babe. I've been on vacation for 70 days. And now I'm in Florida on a little vacation. I'm on vacation. Listen, you guys don't know this yet. We are not in a library here. We're going to go at each other. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to have fun. And at the end of it, some guys will go home and go to bed, and they'll get a little teary-eyed. And other guys, when they lay down, they'll laugh about it. We all know who the teary-eyed cats are.
Like I said, you say whatever I want. You're not going to change my list.
I love it. Go ahead. Greg.
He wanted Patrick to be his queen.
Put the crown on, Ralphie. Here you go, honey. He looks beaten down. You look like Tyson's sparring partner.
Oh my God! Wait a sec. Is this Greg's list I see at the bottom here?
It is Greg's list.
Oh my God! Here we
Guess
go.
how many linebackers are on the list?
Wow! Look at this list.
The whole starting rotation.
Can you notice? You notice a trend here?
Yeah.
Well, I noticed no other position matters, so that's fun.
Breaking. Greg doesn't care about offense.
Greg is the opposite of Howie Roseman.
Yes.
Well, you know his boy's going on there, right? You know what I mean? When he found out of this list,
Number one, that was the quickest one I put in there.
Yeah.
Then I had to think about everybody else. 1 and 2 were easy, and then everybody else I had to think a little bit about.
You said, did you pick names from a hat?
Yeah, essentially, because that's what we did at linebacker.
Go fund me.
That's hysterical.
All right, so number one, obviously TJ Edwards. He's penciled in right now as your starter at middle linebacker. This kid's I love the kid probably more than anybody, but let's be real. He's an undrafted free agent out of Wisconsin, and the reason he was undrafted mostly was because of speed. So now we're going to hand over the keys to your middle linebacker position to an undrafted free agent. Granted, he is in his second year, did play last year at times, and played, pretty well. I like the kid just because I'm going to build off. I'm going to back the pedigree from a school that usually produces pretty decent linebackers. But he needs to step up, regardless of what I think about him. He needs to step up.
What's your thoughts on him, though? Like, honestly, like, truly, like, coming out of college, what'd you think about him? And then, obviously, now, what do you think about him? Like, do you think he has the ability to be a starting linebacker at this level?
Yeah.
When you watched him at Wisconsin, did you see him on the field? I mean, I know you're a Big Ten guy, so that's why I definitely got to go to you, because I'm an SEC guy more. So I know Penn State being your squad, you stay in that conference big time. So when you saw him play, was he a guy who stood out to you?
He was, and I was truly shocked he didn't get drafted. And then when you hear, because the production is there, right? Linebackers, when you put on the tape or they go to the combine, they kind of drop a little bit because they don't run as well, right? Or not as quick. But I look at the game speed, though. How do you play? How do you get off blocks and stuff like that? And what do you do in a game? Are you productive in a Big Ten type of defense? And he was. He didn't flash anything, but he was that guy in the middle of the defense that held it down for Wisconsin, who always puts on, and always has always has a high level defense. So I was shocked he didn't get drafted. I was actually very happy that we signed him as an undrafted free agent. But there's obviously reasons why he was undrafted. But I do think he can play it. Obviously, we're putting a lot of stock in him going into year 2, penciled in as your middle guy.
Yeah, I mean, like, you talk about the sideline stuff, man. Can you make tackles? Are you a short tackler? Because you can play in this league in the middle linebacker position with great D tackles in front of you if you're a short tackler, right?
Yep.
And to me, he can be that. He can be successful here a little bit because of what's in front of him. I think it's so important when you talk about linebackers on what's in front of them. And on this roster, being a linebacker is definitely a lot easier with guys like Fletcher Cox, Malik Jackson, and Hargrave in front of you.
There's no doubt. Then number 2 is Andre Dillard. There's no reason why he shouldn't be on this list. Sorry, Ralph. I drive the Andre Dillard train with you, brother, but he's got to be on this list because he has to step up. There is no track record yet of Andre Dillard playing a lot and at a high level. And if this offense wants to go where we want it to go as fans and for our team's success, Andre Dillard has to be one of the best offensive linemen on this team.
Well, Greg, you said it right there, and I'll reiterate exactly what you said, man. Listen, we got a quarterback that's been banged up. We can't run from it. We can't act like it's not real. And there's a reason why left tackles get paid as much as quarterbacks do. Because they keep him upright. There's a reason. So he's got to be on. I mean, I'm glad you put him on your list. I didn't have him on my list. I'm hoping I could just put him in, but it's a great name. He should be on your list. And to me, if he can be that that left tackle for the next 10 years, you're in great shape as an organization.
Absolutely. And I was super stoked when they drafted him last year. I really liked it, especially because, up until, who knows what we have our offense looks like this year with Kyle Shanahan's protege over here now. But we were usually a pass-heavy offense. So Dillard's pass blocking pedigree really translated to me. And I'm just hoping he takes that next step this year.
You answer a question for Adam here, Greg?
Yes. I love Micah Parsons. Absolutely love Micah Parsons. I would probably – I know the Eagles don't value linebackers, so I'm not even going to get my hopes up, and we probably would be too far away to even potentially draft him. He's a top 15 pick at worst going into next year.
Yeah, you're talking about –
he's top 15.
LeVar Arrington.
Exactly.
Yep. Type stuff. Yep. I mean, right there for a monster year.
I mean, the dude he's everything that you want from a linebacker. And you're right, Tom. That name that you just compared him to is probably almost as close as you're going to get to what LeVar Arrington was at Penn State.
And you know what they did? Like, we talk about schools and what certain schools put out great, right? And we know what Penn State puts out great. And it's a linebacker position. So.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Micah Parsons being in that Isaiah Simmons type of mold of where he's drafted. Isaiah Simmons is a lot more athletic and a lot more versatile to play like a DB type of safety position than what Micah Parsons is. But Micah Parsons is a top 15 pick next year. And yes, Chrome, Gronkomania. I got Ryan's shirt waiting. We just got to get out of this BS, and then
take your time,
Ryan
Greg. Take your time.
I mean, if you want to give me your address, I'll ship it out to you so you can have it whenever you need it.
Sure, I'll get right on that, Greg.
Number 3 and 4, you can combine into one. They're two new linebackers to this defense, and they have kind of similar skill sets. They're both undersized. They're both very athletic and very, have a lot of speed, but they're both unknown. Yes, Jatavius Brown played and has 90 tackles for the Chargers, but last year he played a lot of special teams only. Coming back off of injury, never got his starting spot back that he had as a rookie in his second year. So there's little bit of unknown with Jatavius Brown, especially when he was drafted in San Diego. They were a 3-4. Now, he lost his spot when he came back from injury, and they were a 4-3. We run a 4-3 here with Schwartz. He's undersized. Davion Taylor's also undersized, more of a hybrid type of guy. So I need those two guys who are going to be potentially outside players to step up. Our linebacking core is absolute trash right now. So if none of these guys step up, we're going to be even more trash. And then the fifth guy on my list is Derek Barnett. I'm going to throw an audible, and I'll just go. I'll go Jannard Avery / Josh Sweat, right? That's second tier. You guys have talked about Derek Barnett. I agree with everything you guys have said. So I'm going to take it back to Jannard Avery and Josh Sweat as a combo. That backup D ends when we were really good in 2017, we had 2 4-man lines, right? It was a front 8, we called it, right? And we were rolling like hockey lines almost. And Jannard Avery has to step up, and Josh Sweat also has to step up in a sense of when BG and Derek Barnett come off the field, what do you have, right? Do you have anybody out there to get to the quarterback for that secondary package or that second group package? So there's my list.
Very nice. Very nice. Mr. Vespe.
Yes, I got my list up. And let me preface my list saying that, yes, I do believe in JJ and Sidney Jones are on the list as well. But going into this segment, I know that a good chunk of this room is going to have JJ or Sidney on their list. So I'm going to go a little bit different with my list. Number 1, I'm going to go with Greg Ward. The late season heroics, being a huge part of that playoff push. This undrafted guy coming out of Houston. And out of nowhere, being an important weapon. Last 5-6 games of the season, and basically just being a standout amongst some 7-Eleven employees on the wide receiving core. I do have him as a lock for 2020 as a potential 4, 5, or 6 receiver. I hope he gets more reps. I hope he's going to be important in this playbook, and it's going to be very fun watching Greg Ward.
What's going to be fun is when he gets cut and he's not even on the team.
I mean, you're the one that's saying that.
No, I agree. No, I'm with you.
But
if he's on the roster, then he's on the roster. Because then he's taking. There's somebody else that's obviously not there for him.
Right.
So.
I mean, the only other person I can see not making this roster, I know it's a tough opinion, but I'm going to say Marquise Goodwin may not make the roster come week 1. So, I mean, Greg Ward, I think he's a lock, and I'm gonna stand by that. Number 2, I got Jaylen Mills. I mean, we've hit on it before. He's switched to safety, and it is his natural position. And he's got huge shoes to fill after Malcolm left. So I think he'll do just fine in the safety position. He's just going to step up and hopefully take the reins from Malcolm. Number 3, the linebackers. I mean, I couldn't name just one. I mean, Nate Gary would have been easy. TJ Edwards would have been easy. But I'm just going to go with the entire linebacker position because you don't have Nigel Brown and you don't have a major veteran signing. And I mean, the past several veteran signings we had in the past couple of years, they were absolute disasters. Corey Nelson didn't even make it to week 1. Zach Brown made it even not even halfway into the season. So you don't have a veteran signing. You don't have Nigel Bradham, which they didn't pick up his club option. You don't have Camu Grugier-Hill. So you have this entire rotation of basically mostly first and second year players, except for Jatavis Brown. So, I hope they prove me wrong with the linebackers. So linebackers, that's number 3. Number 4, Andre Dillard. I mean, and Derek Barnett. I mean, we've hit them all. We've hit those nails on the head with those 2. So that is my list for who needs to step up.
No, I like it, and I know for me, and I don't know about you, Frank, but the reason I put so much stock in the linebacker is because I saw so much of a concerted effort to improve the defensive line in the secondary in the offseason. Yeah. Right. So we went out and added Javon Hargrave. We went out and added, Darius Slay, Nickel Roby Coleman, Will Parks. We moved Jalen Mills. So there was an effort to impact and upgrade those positions. And then we still left that middle of the field wide open, right? So that's where I'm with you.
I mean, there were a ton of names on the board that the Eagles could have taken at linebacker, and I don't know what went wrong there. I don't know if we even made an offer to any of these linebackers like Corey Littleton, Kyle Van Noy. But it's a lot of question marks with this linebacking position. I hope, once again, I hope a guy like Nate Gary can step up.
Dean, almost everybody's list, except for
almost everybody.
All but one.
Yeah.
All but one. TTP said Jaylen Mills better step up. I was sick of he was sick of him getting beat deep. They changed his position, but he can't be some par.
Right.
Let's see. Isaiah says the reason I left off Mills is because I'm confident he will step up, especially since safety is his natural position. But I completely understand why you would put him on the list.
Yeah, Isaiah, that's absolutely true.
Brian said Greg Ward could very well not make the team. Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to come down. It's tough because, obviously Tom and Greg debated it before. Myself and Tom debated it before. It's tough really arguing over the 5th wide receiver spot. Once you get past, your top 3 or even 4, it's kind of all over the place. It's kind of like who's hot at the moment.
Yep.
And it's also going to be skewed because, by default, he might make the team just because Alshon's going to be out for the, probably for the first 3, 4 weeks.
And especially that will help JJ's stock a little bit because, a lot of people said that JJ will be Alshon's replacement. But, that's going to help JJ's stock a little bit for the first several games of the season. And hopefully we might see him get double-digit numbers. I don't know. But, that's going to help. That's going to help him going into this year.
But it's funny, Ryan, you mentioned that, and Frank, you mentioned the same thing. You go back to what Vaughn Hebron said a couple weeks ago when we had him on, and he was talking about how much a player potentially costs for the team, right? Greg Ward, an undrafted guy, versus J.J. Ortega, who's a second-round pick, right? So they're going to give Ortega that nod probably more often, even though Greg Ward's probably a better receiver, even though he's a quarterback in college, right? But they're going to give that nod because they have a second-round pick invested in them, and they can probably try and sneak Greg Ward back on the practice squad for another year, right? So it's going to be tricky to see how that plays out.
Right.
You're right. I wouldn't be shocked to see him on the field depending on the Alshon situation, or on the team depending on the Alshon situation. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think he's one of those guys that definitely has to win it for sure.
I think the perfect way to kind of sum him up at the moment, he's a bubble guy and somebody who's an undrafted free agent who earned his role last year. He delivered in his role, but a team that has zero assets, it's not like they extended him for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they used a second, even third, fourth, fifth round pick on the guy. He's not making nearly any money. He came in, he took advantage of a situation, and he's going to be put into actually a better situation than he was this time last year. This time last year, he wasn't even being regarded as somebody who had even a remote chance to make the team. Now he's going to be given a legitimate shot. Some may say, oh, that's harsh. He should be, guaranteed lock to make the team. I think that's his especially when you look at all of the additions, like Kenny said, I think the 3 wide receivers we drafted are all going to break out. I think if they would have just sat back and just taken Rager and maybe one other guy, a guy like Greg Ward, because of obviously the experience from last year and how many years he's had with the organization, I would say he's closer to being a quote unquote lock, if there's such a thing for a 5th wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because, again, he was finally given his chance late in the season last year, you kind of boosted to where, okay, you are a key guy to where right now you are in the door. But if you don't come in, and I know it's going to be all over the place given what kind of offseason there is, what kind of training camp, that's all going to be determined once we figure out the timeline, what the hell's going on, because your guess is as good as mine at this point.
And even if they make some decision on the rosters, maybe you can see Greg Ward not be on the practice squad. They might have more receivers on this team.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like Philip jokes here, he says Ward makes the team in J-Jaw practice squad. And again, if you just flipped it and you said, okay, you put all of the assets, aka a 2nd-round pick in Greg Ward, and J-Jaw was an undrafted free agent, then it's no debate, because again, we all know Greg Ward actually has a pulse, and even though, like we talked about before, J-Jaw was a rookie, Greg Ward's clearly shown way more than J-Jaw has. So with that, it would be easy. It wouldn't even be a conversation. But as we've talked about before, not only talent, but Howie Roseman and this organization, they value guys that they have assets put into. Yeah. I mean, they kept freaking Donnell Pumphrey around for 3 extra years because they had a 4th-round pick asset into him. J.J. Ortega Whiteside, as much as I don't think he is going to be anything even close to a 2nd-round pick, they've used a 2nd-round pick on him. So as much as the fan in me says, oh, let's just get rid of this guy, you can't. He's a lock because he's a 2nd-round pick.
And right, you hit on it. There's 2 positions where if you look at the draft and what they did, and that kind of tells you what their mindset is, right? So we go back to the poll question: Will Sidney Jones improve this year? Well, they didn't draft a cornerback. They didn't draft one. They had Christian Fulton sitting there waiting for him. They could have taken one. Still had one available at 21. However, obviously they weren't going there. But at 53, you had Fulton there, and then even later in the draft, they never drafted a true cornerback. Well, so that means to tell me that they like Sidney Jones. Well, and they like their room right now.
True, and broaden that too. Forget about just the draft, off-season wise. Sure, they went out and traded for Slay, but they said no to obviously, the guy from the Cowboys now on the Dolphins. Yeah, they've yet to, for everybody, and I like Logan Ryan, but do you see how they're more comfortable with a guy like Sidney Jones because they're not jumping after a Logan Ryan or some guys that were on the Falcons. There were so many guys that I remember 3-4, a couple months ago we were just sitting back when free agency opened. We were like, okay, this cornerback's off the board. This. To where we have to remember, we got Slay kind of late in the process. It was about a week into free agency or even more than that. So we weren't jumping after cornerbacks. So that tells us, to your point, Greg, they still believe in the kid, and they're not willing to give up on a guy that they used a second-round pick on.
Yeah.
So I understand why people were saying, oh, yeah, Hightower is going to make the team. Because I like Hightower. I had him in my, I expected them to get him. I wanted them to get him. But, again, if it's going to be between a Hightower, a Ward, or an Ortega Whiteside, and they're all kind of even skill-wise or what they've shown, Ortega Whiteside's going to be more of the lock because he was given a second-round pick asset. Yep. The other two, much, much less, or just not a draft asset at all.
Right.
Isaiah says, let's remember that J. Jaw was supposed to be Alshon's replacement. They called this dude Baby Alshon when we drafted him. Well, other people called him Mr. 11, 12 touchdowns in the rookie season. Yeah. So we were all disappointed. What was that, Frank?
Where is the guy who said that he should have 11 or 12 touchdowns?
Buying a TV, probably. I don't know.
Calling himself a millionaire.
Respects. Rest in peace, TV.
What I'll say to the J-Jaw stuff is just be careful, boys. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Just be careful. I guys running around trashing, and that's fine. I don't disagree with the trash. Trash away when guys don't produce. Remember, a lot of young guys come into this league in year one, they don't figure it out. And year 2 and 3, they start coming on. So I just don't want to write a guy off because of 1 year, right? Especially a rookie year. All right? I want to try to give that guy an opportunity to succeed here. And I think if we did that more of a fan base, I think we would get more out of our players. I'm being real with you guys. Not only as fans, but analysts of stuff. Okay? I mean, we smoke so many guys around here at a young age. Think about it. You all been 20. You all been 20. Mentality's a little different at 20.
Right, still is.
Yeah, to be able to handle stuff. So when we get on guys as a fan base, rookies, right, it's hard for them sometimes. Not only are we crushing, but they're not playing well, and it just all piles on. Not saying it's not given. Not telling people not to do it. You do what you do. But what I'm saying is we've seen a lot of young guys come in this league and not be successful right away. Brandon Graham, here, and outside of here we've seen a lot.
Yeah.
So let's not saying be patient this year. Allow this year to play out. If there's zero production and we don't see enough, light it up. Make sense? Light them up.
I'll tell you, because I understand what you're saying. I'll tell you, and we were talking about it. I think it was on one of the Tuesday shows. We were talking about it when it just had come out. What kind of reignited my hate? I'll say it right now. It's kind of hatred for as much hatred as you can have for one of your own type thing. When it was about 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, and that quote came out with him talking about the reasons why he didn't have a good season, and instead of taking it on him saying it was me, he went down the list of every excuse in the book to where we were talking earlier about confidence with a Sidney Jones, to where you're saying, I'm going to ball out, forget about the past, it doesn't matter. Talking about Miles Sanders, obviously, that is talking about MVP. You have a guy backtracking saying, oh, well, it was because I wasn't supposed to be on the field and they didn't have me ready. I don't give it. You're a professional. You're a professional. Not everyone's going to be on the Patriots and everyone's going to be with Bill Belichick. Some people go into not so great situations. It's how you adapt to it, how you rebound from it. You tell me that you didn't want to be on the field? That sounds a lot to me like Matt Collins saying he didn't want to be a wide receiver. He'd rather be special teams. I don't want to.
I think what he was saying is they moved him around in a lot of different positions. As a young guy at the wide receiver position, that's not easy to do, man. He didn't even do that in college. You guys understand this? Like, you got to look deeper into it. He didn't move around like that in college. So now he's playing inside. He's playing outside. He's playing over. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying I want guys to come out and make excuses, but he's not wrong.
I'm not saying he's wrong at all. I'm not trying to say that it's you show up day one and you're going to catch 100 balls in the season. I'm not saying that at all.
I'm talking about playing inside and outside in different weeks or different points of the game, having to play inside or outside. It's different. It's different reads. It's different route trees. It's completely different having to play inside and outside. So to me, that doesn't help him when he's already struggling. Makes sense. And then he talks about the injuries. Now, again, sounds convenient, maybe there's truth to it because everybody was banging the hell up. All right. But let's talk about the wide receiver coaches. Let's talk about coaching guys up and getting guys better. This isn't the first guy that came in as an early round pick and didn't succeed with this coaching staff, right? We've seen it.
Yeah.
So to me, it's a combo effect. I just don't, Dean, you're right, Dean, when you talked about 10 catches. I get it. I completely get it. But this organization, this coaching staff didn't do him any favors either in terms of X, Y. Come on, man. If he did that at Stanford, then it's a conversation I want to have. Then you can't make it as an excuse because you played all different positions at Stanford, right? That's all. Right? Like I say it again, doesn't come play this year and isn't any good, or there's no signs of life, then we rip. You know what I mean? That's all. I'm just saying that he could come out and have a good year, and I'll be like, shit. That doesn't mean backtrack on what you're saying. That doesn't mean don't have your opinions. That doesn't mean don't crush them. Do what you guys do. I'm just saying for everybody, like, let's just be careful after 1 year. Year two, hey, let's get the hammers out, right? That's all. Still, I mean, say your opinions, though. Like, Dean, you're right. Flat out stunk. Ryan had said it from day one. Hasn't liked them. All that's well and good. I haven't seen enough not to like them or automatically say this is a bust, right? That's all. Give me one more. Because my eyes told me that, listen, Dallas game has a big catch, right? We talk about responses, man. We've been talking about this. Now, he disappeared for the rest of the game, but he also had a great over-the-shoulder catch against, I mean, he didn't have many catches, but it was later on in the year. You remember the really good over-the-shoulder catch he had late in the year, too?
Yeah.
So he started,
was that the one where he ran into Dallas Goedert?
No, it was like on the sidelines.
Oh, I know. It was against the Giants.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like late in the year, he started to have some catches that you're like, the Dallas catch was huge. It got us rolling. So, like, that's all. Might stink. Everybody catches the ball sometimes. Might stink, right? But year two, we're really going to find out. Because if you don't get any better and there's only room to go up, then we're in trouble. But I still think the guy can have 40 catches this year. And if he has 35, 40, and say 6 or 7 TDs, are we feeling a little bit better?
Anything's better than last year. Yeah.
No, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah, you're right. I mean, that's what I said at the beginning. Everything's better. But if he had 35, 40 crabs, 6
it's a step.
TDs,
It's a
are
step.
you guys feeling like, okay, he could year 3 could even get better? Would you feel better about it, or would you still think, nah, I just don't think this guy has it, which is fair. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, for if that's the scenario, it would all depend on what type of catches they were, right? Like what type of were they garbage against, garbage time against, whatever opponent, or were they, in the middle of a game, big crucial catches type of stuff? You know what I mean?
And there were some crucial catches. Now, Isaiah, he didn't play 16 games. So that's not fair. Now we're labeling what the stat sheet says. Come on, man. Go look this up, Isaiah. Because I hear what you're saying, but go look this up. How many balls thrown his way? How many targets? How many snaps taken? That's what you need to look at. Still, 10 catches still isn't good, by the way, even with them snaps. To confirm, I'm saying, okay? So I'm just saying, don't put 16 games on him, 18 catches. That's not fair. You know what I mean? Because he didn't play all 16. He didn't play early on in the year. He started getting his opportunities later on, and he stunk. But
I'll just say
what was that, week 3 against Detroit, though?
Oh, yeah.
That was a drop, and he didn't see the field after that for a while.
They shut him down. They healthy scratched him. Without they started like they had him on roster. He wasn't a scratch, but they never saw the field.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So he was a healthy scratch without being labeled as a healthy scratch.
What I'll say to you though is he catches that football. His entire rookie year is different.
Completely agree.
Absolutely
Completely different. But listen, you got to get open in this league, right? Guy got open in a big spot. So can we start to put it together? You know what I mean? I'm not saying he will. Everybody, please understand me. I'm not saying he will. But when you use a second-round pick on a guy, shit, he's better. So I'm going to continue to say, I'm praying to God he gets better. I'm praying to somebody, whoever the hell you pray to, Buddha, Allah, God, don't matter. Somebody answer the call, please. Because if not, Howie Roseman continues to fail. And that's not good. You're not going to go to We went to 3 straight postseasons. That's not going to continue if you don't draft well.
If you keep missing on second-round picks.
Yeah.
Yep.
As it continues. So that's all.
Yep.
We could talk about JJ all day. I like talking about it because it's a heated argument, a heated conversation, because hate's easy. Hate becomes easy when you're that bad, right? So I get it, but there's other guys in this city we've done the same shit to. Some just flat out stunk and could never play, and others turned it around a little bit or a lot. So we're going to find out where he plays out this year. Don, he didn't catch the ball.
Don is a Lions fan. I thought he had it.
Top 6: Alshon, Deshaun, Reagor. Give me a second. Greg Ward, JJ, no order here, and Hightower. Marquise Goodwin and Watkins don't make this team.
Yeah, I agree with the 6.
You just took my list right there.
And I'll say that in the instance where Alshon is, say he's on the PUP, for example, Goodwin might be on. Goodwin will be if he makes it to the stadium if he's healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Or if like Watkins, they get some camp in and he looks really that good, and you're like, all right, he's younger, speed's the same.
I keep hearing that he's like a day one. Everyone keeps telling me that, like, this Watkins is like a day one game changer on special teams with the returns, to where he's going to make the roster just based off of that. So where I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And that's where that.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Just run
Marquise
straight.
is it. So
yes.
If you bring the right point, you bring something extra, it's important. Go ahead, Greg.
No, I was just gonna say the same thing. Like, that's where that 5th or 6th receiver, if you keep them, like, hey, if you're a game changer in the special teams, then you're in.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially when we talk about that 6th guy. Yeah. You're spot on. And then Greg Ward can play some special teams too for you. So now you're talking about 2 of your receivers can double dip a little bit. Very important. Very important, because now you're deeper.
Yeah, because what I'm hearing is their plan, what they're hoping again, and this is all up in the air because it's friggin' offseason stuff. We don't have the timeline. That it's either going to be Watkins or that Killins, the running back who has the crazy speed. Both of those guys, they could be integrated with special teams to where they and everyone. And I mean, this is marginal, but there's been a lot of talk about the extra money that Killins was given as an undrafted free agent, to where it was actually a lot more than the usual. So it seems like they have a defined role and a plan for him. Now, clearly, it's an undrafted free agent, so really, how big of a plan do you have for a guy that you didn't even value drafting? But those are 2 guys that, again, they could move the bubble around, especially with Alshon being out for the first 4 or 6 weeks, to where it gives them a little bit more flexibility to see who they are as players.
Yeah. I think that's why they went that deep with it too, and why they drafted so many, because the unknowns of injury, the injury concerns of Alshon, the injury concerns of Deshaun.
It's like
Deshaun's mad about it, which I love. Go ahead, Greg.
It's like a layering system. Yeah.
Yep. No, right. I was just going to say that same point I brought up about the secondary, about them addressing it in a certain spot and then not addressing it when they thought, is kind of like the running backs, right? They didn't really draft a high running back. Obviously, we know they passed on J.K. Dobbins. They haven't signed that veteran guy that we kind of all think that they kind of might need to. But yet they again go and give Killins a little bit extra money as an undrafted free agent. So, maybe they're kind of telling us something that they kind of like what they have, and they're going to give this kid a shot. So,
Greg, they want to be a goddamn track team, right? And they want to be a track team. Howie, I'm going to ask you a question, okay? I'm going to ask you a question. When Deshaun Jackson's healthy and Alshon Jeffrey's been healthy, are they not Pro Bowl caliber wideouts? Caliber. Yes or no? I'll wait on that one. Let me ask you another question. We're automatically assuming Jalen Reagor can't play. We're automatically assuming J.J. Ortega Whiteside can't play. 10 catches on 22 targets, like Julio Vargas looked up for us. Thanks, Julio. Appreciate it, brother. Only 22 targets, guys. Okay? So not a ton of sample size. Fair? It's about targets. Now, I don't know how many snaps. That's another conversation. Because if it's a ton of snaps and only 22 targets, then that's a little concern. But that's it. It's not a big sample size. So for me to tell, who am I hyping up? What receiver core am I hyping up? I must have
he likes Ralphie's shirt. That's all we need to know.
I think it's Ralph's burner. He just complimented Ralph. I think it's Ralph's burner. That's why he's quiet over there.
Not my burner. I don't have any burner accounts.
Because when I look at a wide receiver, sorry, Ralph, go ahead. You don't have burner accounts. Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Just kidding, Ralphie. When you look at the wide receivers, you got to consider the tight ends as a factor too. So we got to consider Zach Ertz in there in that conversation as well. And who is that? Forgot Jackson. Don't crucify me. No, I'm not crucifying you at all, brother. I love that you looked that up for us. On his list. Nah, it's all right. We're typing quick here. Everybody's typing quick. I love everybody dropping them in. Keep commenting. I'm telling you guys right now. And for new listeners, A2D is about the people. From day one, 5 years ago, been about the people. Nothing's going to change ever here. We want your guys' opinions, and we want to respond to them. And sometimes when you're going to get smoked, and sometimes it's going to be a love affair. Welcome to Agree Disagree Radio.
So here we go. JJ Ortega Whiteside technically played in 16 games. He started 5. He was on the field for 486 snaps on offense and then 14 snaps on defense. So in 486 snaps, he had 22 targets.
Yeah, but you know the big thing there? How many games started?
5.
There you go. So now you're all over the place in them other games. Fair? You're all over the place in them other games. You don't know if you're starting. You don't know what position you're playing. Think about it. Only 5 games started. That's not a lot of samples. Your second round pick, you expect to play 16. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, you're right. He played them though, or he.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's 30 snaps a year, 40 snaps. You know what I mean? That's bullshit. That's how you treat running backs, right? In and out, rotational. When you draft a guy in the second round, you expect him to come in and play.
Well, yeah, you expect it. You're absolutely right. You expect it.
Start. Like, hey, you're on the field. So it's all right. I mean, listen.
486, though, is a lot more than I thought snap-wise.
Yeah, I wonder what number ones in this league get snap-wise.
That was, it looks like that's 42% of the snaps.
Yeah, I mean.
So, I just throwing it out there.
Howie says, it's totally trolling. Love watching you guys. I hate the Eagles, but I always find myself watching you guys. Appreciate it, Howie.
Howie, who's your squad, brother?
I was just about to ask the same thing.
I think it's Cowboys, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think it's the Stars.
Yeah.
No. Nice, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I hate the Cowboys, but have respect for the Cowboys, and we're never gonna be biased here when it comes if Dallas is good or not. So, just to keep that real with you.
That's true. And the one thing I was gonna add to that, Greg, and somebody again on my side that would say, yeah, here you go. By the way, Dallas Cowboys, huge fan of. Looking at those stats, and I completely agree that the whole 16 games he played, that's skewed because that goes back to he was a healthy scratch without being labeled a healthy scratch, where he was playing, but really he was just sitting back like this on the bench. He was standing. He was doing a lot of standing.
Mm-hmm.
But when he was on the field, my argument would be, remember, maybe our guy 11, Mr. Wentz, maybe he knew something that we didn't, and he just didn't bother throwing him the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like that, for argument's sake, that's what I would die. That's how I'll spin it. You know what I mean?
Don, what happened, baby? What did I miss? I didn't get any breaking news or nothing. What did I miss?
He's probably just talking about the report. It's like they're like the leaders in the clubhouse to where it's like that's the biggest chance of it happening.
Yeah, because nobody believes nothing down here. Let's get into a little Jalen Hurts conversation.
Yes, this will be interesting.
Let's circle the board here. Want to know your guys' thoughts on the comments today, obviously, when Doug Peterson came out and said Nate Sudfeld is our second-string quarterback as of right now. Get into that in 1 second. But some plans for Jalen Hurts. Listen, I thought there were some plans for him. I truly did. Well, you drafted him 53rd overall. You used second-round pick on him, an asset. But the comments today, it makes me wonder what plans do they really have for him. And let me tell you guys something. When you draft anybody in the second round, they ain't your third string shit unless you're the top team in football. You understand me? Ain't nobody your third stringer. Anybody. So even worse, you're drafting a quarterback in the second round. The second he does this, with the 53rd pick in the 2020 NFL draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select out of Oklahoma, Jalen Hurts. The second that happens, and this happens, he's automatically your second string quarterback. What did I miss here? People are going to tell me, Tom, it's coach speak. It's off season. There's no workouts, right? None of that stuff's happening, right? I'm going to tell you, I don't give a rat's ass what's happening. I don't care if we never come out of our houses. I do care. When you use a second round pick for a quarterback, he's automatically your second stringer. And if he's your third, then why'd you draft him anyway? Because you obviously believe in Nate Sudfeld then to be your second. Don't give me knowing the offense. I don't want to hear none of that right now. Zero of that. You use the pick, he's your second stringer. Now we're coming out and saying he's our third stringer. It's a crock of shit. I'm disgusted by it. All right? And I don't know what direction this football team and what plans they have for him. You can tell me they got all these plans for him. I'm going to tell you, stop reading fake news. That's what I'm going to tell you today. Okay? You're reading a bunch of freaking lazy-ass beat reporters with nothing to do during quarantine trying to make up shit on what this guy's going to be used for. I mean, all these idiots, all these nerds try to compare him to Taysom Hill. Shut the hell up. Taysom Hill stinks, by the way, in my opinion. I hate him. And you think he's going to be a franchise quarterback in New Orleans? Get a clue. Get a clue.
Apparently he's the guy now. He's going to be the guy when Drew retires. Okay, have fun. Have fun.
Go away with that. Go away with that. But I use a pick on this guy. He's got to be my second stringer. I don't give a rat's ass about the rest.
He'll be retiring 2 years after. He's 33 years old himself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know Greg likes Nate. I don't have an issue with Nate. I thought coming into the season, Nate was going to be my second stringer before drafting Jalen Hurts. And I wasn't going to say like I'm overwhelmed by it and I'm in love with him as my second stringer, but I'm okay with it. And because he's been in the offense, he's played a little bit, and he's played okay. Nothing special. Okay. Serviceable. Right? So I thought, okay, that's the direction we're going to go. But no. We overlooked J.K. Dobbins. We overlooked numerous names that were available at 53, and we drafted the quarterback. We all had to sit back, looks like this fucking quarantine, and we had to deal with it. We had to deal with it and just rattle off in our head because we had nothing else to think about. And then you come out as an organization, and you say, oh, he's going to be your third stringer.
That's why going back to this stupid, asinine quarterback factory comment, it makes no sense. The fact that we heard Doug Peterson in this organization over the last 2 days talk about how they're going to take it slow with a second-round guy in a position that you never needed to take. Can I preface that again? You never needed to take it. You're already taking it slow with Sudfeld. He's been in the system for 3-4 years. He's the guy that you already labeled 3 years ago as an eventual starting quarterback in the league. You're already taking it slow with a guy.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Go ahead.
You're spot on, brother. You're spot on. I thought we got T-shirts out, by the way, QB Factory. And you get 25% off. We'll put up the image in a minute for you guys to see it. But let me tell you something. You just hit the nail on the head. I thought it was a goddamn QB factory here. So if this is a QB factory, how is he not ready to go? What happened to the factory? Did it burn down? Was there an explosion? What happened? What I missed that now, you know me. I never trust Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson is my road dog. And I'm not even really hammering him. He's put in a bad spot here. It's the hammer starts with Howie, but Doug, I know you've been in for a while. Shut the hell up. Shut up.
And I know from day one, we know this going all the way back to last season where, Deshaun's coming back next week. 2 hours later, Deshaun's out for the year. Like, I already know when I wake up in the morning that Doug's not very good with words. And
all our coaches are coming back, and then the next day they're all fired.
Yeah, like I completely understand. Listen, Doug, you're not good with words. It's okay. We want you to coach. Just go with the X's and O's. We'll be fine with you. Just the word thing, it's not okay. It's fine. So maybe just dial back a little bit with that. But you say that you're going to take it slow. First of all, You can't ever take it slow with in my opinion anyway, correct me if I'm wrong, with a second round pick, regardless of the position, unless you're stacked at that position. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like if you took a future center there, well, of course you're going to take it slow because you have Jason Kelce still on the build. But my point is, with the position, Ralphie, I'll go back to your initial point. Never drafted a linebacker. You still need a linebacker at 53, right, Ralphie?
Yeah, you needed one.
You still need another safety, right? Still need a possible cornerback for all the Sidney Jones non-believers. How about a running back? Had Mr. Dobbins there, right? Mr. Greg?
Absolutely. Had Christian Fulton there, cornerback. Had AJ Spenza there, defensive end.
Hell, you could have gone friggin' Denzel Mims. I wasn't a Denzel Mims guy, but at 53, I'll deal with it.
I mean, you end up drafting 7 of them. Why wouldn't you take 2 high-level ones? You know what I mean?
I'll take Mims over friggin' Quez Watkins or Marquise Goodwin. I think Denzel Mims will be actually able to make it into the building without getting injured. So when you talk about taking it
he's
slow,
not scared.
Yeah, true. It goes back to my initial fears and my initial takeaways from draft night, and that was it's not Taysom Hill. The Taysom Hill argument is idiotic because Taysom Hill wasn't drafted. Also, he's, to Greg's point, closer to being 30 than 20. Yep. Second of all, it makes no sense to compare him to Lamar Jackson because are we freaking serious right now? It's more in comparison, if we're in this comparison game, to what they did with Michael Vick in 2010 to where he was the third-string gadget player in the Wildcat. So you're telling me we're using that with a second-round pick when you have a top 10, top 5 quarterback when healthy?
And you're absolutely right because normal teams don't dress 3 quarterbacks. There's 3 quarterbacks on the roster, but they don't always dress them because they want to use that other spot for another guy that just could actually impact the game. So now we're going to use we're going to dress all 3 quarterbacks, or you're going to sit your potential backup. You know, I love Stubfeld, but it's not because he's good. I just love the name and love trolling everybody. You know what I mean? But now, again, it goes back to right, you said it too. It goes back to my draft and why I hate the draft so much. Because now you're telling me 2 out of your 3 first picks are borderline reaches and might not even start.
Yep.
You know, and one of them is at the most important position of the team where we already have our stud and our guy there anyway. So, again, what the hell?
Dean, Hurts is a better second-round pick than last year's. I might agree with that. You might have me then.
He'll probably have more than 10 catches.
Yeah, exactly. He's playing the wrong position.
Dude, I hope so.
Here it is, Frank. Thank you. Here's the shirt for everybody, by the way. Here's the shirt.
That's what the design of the shirt will look like.
So it looks like, and you get 25% off. I'm drawing a blank on the promo code.
I just think it's A2D.
Might just be A2D promo code.
Ralphie, thoughts on Jalen Hurts?
Well, I guess the factory already got shut down because nobody wanted to pay the goddamn taxes on the building. But I mean, it's just laughable at this point. I said at draft night when they took Jalen Hurts at 53, you just became the laughingstock of the NFL once you took Jalen Hurts at 53. You know, and if I had doubts of trading him away, I mean, we wouldn't be screaming and hollering about it if he was, traded for a package for Yannick. But the way you took him at 53 and then Doug comes out and says that Nate Studfeld is the number 2, it's just laughable at this point. Laughable.
Ralphie, you're actually
tell you another a second rounder that isn't. I should say a second rounder that won't play this year, right? Or a second rounder that hasn't played last year.
Yep.
I just think it's a wasted second pick, but it is what it is.
Well, you brought up something that is actually spot on. You know, with all the rumors and the speculation, I would say more false hope that, he was going to be packaged for Yannick or any player. To your point, Ralphie, the second that Doug not only says we're going to take it slow with him, but literally calls him a third stringer, you know what that does? That deletes any trade value. Any. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're
At
right.
least for the immediate future until we get on the field. And half of this fan base doesn't ever want to see him on the field.
Yeah.
Again, I
We
completely
were all sitting here draft night as well, too, when that pick did come in. I mean, Tommy was screaming and hollering about, I hope this is for a trade. He better be getting traded, as you would have thought. But then you look back at that pick. I mean, the Colts were right in front of us as well, and the Jacksonville Jaguars were right in front of us as well, and they didn't take him. So was it really going to be for a trade? Obviously not at this point right now, but right now it looks like a terrible, terrible pick by Howie Roseman. When your head coach comes out and says he's the third-string quarterback and you have no off season yet, but that goes out the window. When your head coach says that, it's just laughable at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to. I don't know what they're trying to do. Man, I'm lost with their angle here.
I mean, that shit's done it. We're not the 2008, 2009 Miami Dolphins. That shit don't work no more. I mean, I don't know what we're trying to do, but go Birds, right?
Mr. Vespe?
Yeah, a very questionable phrasing by Mr. Peterson. Once again, it doesn't surprise me one bit that they're going to have Sudfeld at the 2. Especially with the Taysom Hill comparisons. Yes, I understand what they're going to try to do with the role, but just to label Hurts as what could be the number 3 quarterback, that baffles me.
And Philip, I understand what you're saying, brother, but I would agree with you in any other day. But the head coach yesterday literally said the exact opposite. If that was true, if Hurts is really the insurance for Wentz, he's not talking about him being a third stringer. He's talking about him being a gadget type. You know what I'm saying? What he said yesterday was Nate Sudfeld is the insurance.
Nate Sudfeld is the insurance. He has the ability to be the insurance. We know what Sudfeld can do. We saw the last time we saw Sudfeld in an actual NFL game, you have to go all the way back to 2017, the last game of the season, where he had to face the Dallas #1 defense. And he did fine. But then the past couple of years, we didn't see much from him. But
what were you going to say, Tom?
To the comment down here, I think as time went on, first of all, if anybody, they said quarterback factory. So anybody that's talking gadgets is clueless to me. Okay? They said QB factory. So the gadget game's over. They drafted him to be a QB. I don't know where all the rest came from. All right? I don't know where all the rest came from. So we had to sit back and we had to wrap our brains around it. And I think we all got to the point now where we're like, you know what? Let's just rally around the kid. Hopefully he doesn't have to play. But if he ever does, hey, at least we have a guy who's a great athlete on the field. You know what I mean? So I think we all got to that point, right? To try to be okay with it. We all got there. Right? And then they come out and say this shit. It just makes no sense to me. And maybe that's what they mean by factory. They're just going to have so many. I don't freaking know anymore.
Well, the factory so far, the factory sucks because it started. Howie thinks the factory started with Nick, but really no, because there was no factory. Nick Foles was already in the league for X amount of years. There was no factory. You have Clayton Thorson, and Nate Sudfeld on the list of the factories. And I guess, who's the kid from Cleveland? Frank, that we had for 5 seconds. I think he's still on the roster. Corey something. I don't know. He's a random guy.
It's not Walletta, is it?
No, but we have but we have him too. We have him too. Somebody in the chat will say it. I don't know.
Fly 23. I'd rather have a good young QB come on the field than a 40-year-old because we know Wentz gets hurt. Every year. Well, there's no 40-year-old. I mean, Nate's young. But yeah, I hear you. I mean, I just said I'd rather have a good athlete on the field. I would rather once Jalen Hurts became the selection, I automatically would rather have Jalen Hurts play than Nate Sudfeld. I mean,
Cody Kessler.
Are you guys are okay with that? Like when we drafted him, we had to really wrap our brains around it. Like we're like, all right, he's our second. Now he's our third essentially, but really our second. Who would you rather have on the field if Carson Wentz did go down for any period of time? Who would you rather have on the field? The easiest question in the history of questions.
Yeah, it's Hurts.
It's Hurts. That is close.
Shut up, Greg.
Well, of course, the idiot down there is going to think no. But it's Hurts, and listen, I said to Mike earlier in Atarac when we were talking on Facebook. I love the kid, right? And now I'm trying to be fair to the kid, right? Now I'm trying to be fair to the kid, and assume he's going to be my backup, and I'm going to roll with him. I'm going to ride with him if I need to, and if he ever needs to come in situational football where Carson goes down for a minute, I want to put trust into him. Make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're ruining it. They're ruining me putting trust in any of their damn draft day decisions, okay? I can't say it enough. This guy continues to look like he fails on draft day. You want to know who didn't fail? Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
I was going to say Dean Jones said, and I think we can all agree with this. And Tom, your question's still valid, but says, I don't think it matters if Wentz goes down, season's over regardless. Basically, and you've talked about this before, Tom. There's no Nick Foles from 2017/2018 in this locker room. There's not.
Well, listen, if Wentz goes down, it's not good, okay? It's not good. But the kid can play a little bit. He has a bigger skill set than Nick Foles does in terms of athleticism. I mean, Nick's got a great deep ball.
Yeah.
Jalen could throw the deep ball okay. That's probably the one good thing he does do, even though he doesn't have a strong arm. You know what I mean, Greg?
Yeah.
That's probably the one thing he does do okay. So, I'm trying to look at the positive of this kid. He's a winner, man. He's a winner. Now, do I think we're going to win a Super Bowl with him? Shut the hell up. You know what I mean? Shut up. But do I think we can win games with him if needed? Yes, I do. Because the skill set, the quarterback position, outside of throwing the football, is the whole way the league's going. Can he move around? Can he make plays on the run? Can he extend plays? I mean, listen, right now he's a one-look-and-go guy. That can't happen at this level. All right? But, again, I'm trying to be fair to the kid and believe he can play a little bit if that situation ever did come up. But, yeah, I mean, you lose starters in this league, usually your season's done. But they went out and addressed in the second round and said, if he does, our season ain't done. That's what they're trying to say as they shift into the third-string quarterback.
Let's see. So,
put my money on what? Hold the fuck on. Put my money on what? What am I putting my money on? What did I say to put my money on? This is what I love, guys. You ain't listening to me. Did I say they were going to win Super Bowl with him? I said, shut the hell up, Tom. No. Told myself to shut the hell up. Okay? I said they can win. They can win games with him. This team's built pretty strong, man. Is he Carson Wentz and can sniff his jockstrap? You understand?
Yep.
But being an athlete, they can win games with him.
All
he did was win in college. All he did was win football games in college, man. I mean, that matters a little bit.
Do you believe that if he came in instead of McCown in the playoff game, they would have won? Because that's the gauge.
Yeah, McCown was there too. Yeah, they would have won it. Sure. They would have scored more than 17 goddamn points. McCown pulled his hammy. He wasn't even Josh McCown, and he was 40-plus years old. So if anybody thinks that Jalen Hurts couldn't win that game, I think they're sort of delusional now. I think they're losing their fucking minds. I really do. If Josh McCown, I love Josh to death, dude. He's been a fucking journeyman his whole life. Can we calm the hell down on Josh McCown? He did a lot for Carson Wentz. But to say Jalen Hurts should be better than Josh McCown in this league. Use the second round goddamn pick on him. Better be. All I'm saying is, Dean, I don't know. What's the scenario, Dean? You know what I mean? What's the scenario about going up? You got to play all 16? I ain't put money there. He's got to play 3. I'll put some cash there.
Does anyone else on this panel and in the chat believe that if Hurts would have been in the same situation as McCown, we would have won?
Don't be careful.
I don't.
I don't think they would have won.
I don't.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
We might have. It might have been a better game coming down the stretch.
Absolutely.
We lost too many pieces. We lost too many pieces in that game.
Too many guys went down.
Wide receivers. We lost everybody. Miles. I mean, we lost half the roster in that game.
Okay. Now I'm going to tell you guys when a guy can run with the football back there. All right, that helps it, right? That helps it. So all I'm going to say to you guys, we ain't scoring more than 17 fucking points. Stop it. You didn't watch the kid play at all in college and at all. He's not the greatest quarterback ever. I'm not crowning the kid. He can play football. He can play football. He's a smart kid, right? He's a leader. He's been a leader everywhere he goes. Not a bad thing to say about him from any goddamn teammate.
Nope.
Okay? So to me, way more athleticism can extend plays. You tell me a big play or two couldn't have happened? That changes the whole game. Josh McCown had a bad hammy. You guys are saying Josh McCown with a bad hammy is better than Jalen Hurts? Then we all should quit. Then the season's over. We're the worst front office in football at evaluating talent. That's what that means. We're the Cleveland fucking Browns. Are we the Cleveland Browns, though?
No.
No. So we're not the worst at evaluating talent. Right? We're not the worst at it.
We might be the Cleveland Browns on draft night. Just not in free agency and trades.
No, because you got to hit some that still be going to the playoffs. Like, I mean, guy hit Miles last year. He's hit picks. He's hit them. I don't love his picks, but it's not the worst in football. You know what I mean? It's not like dreadful.
No, it's not. No.
I mean, we could have had a draft like Green Bay.
Nobody's knocking Jalen Hurts as a player. It's just the fact that when you picked him at 53 with all that talent on the board is what's laughable at this point. Like, yeah, he was a great player. Like, he was a great player at Oklahoma, right? Great player at Alabama. Went to multiple national championships. Both places, Alabama and Oklahoma, both were winners there. But at 53, where you took him, kind of tells us as a fan base that, hey, the confidence we have in Carson Wentz, even though we gave him that big contract, it's not looking too good. I'm telling you. That's what it showed to me. At 53,
I agree with you.
The front office doesn't have that much confidence in Carson, and it's laughable at this point.
But where he's picked, that doesn't matter anymore. Because we're strictly talking about can he win that game?
Now it doesn't, because you're a month removed from the draft. Everything's set in stone, and you're going on your day.
I think it's hysterical. None of you guys think we win that game. I mean, the quarterback's 40 years old, bad hammy. We scored 9 goddamn points. We gave up 17 in that football game. We ain't winning that game with Jalen Hurts. Come on, man. He's way too athletic. Look what Marquis said. Do you remember what Lamar did to Seattle? Like, he can run. He can run.
But he's not Lamar Jackson, though. I mean, now we're comparing.
Right. Nobody compared him. We're talking about the skill set of being able to run with the goddamn football. There's comparing and saying he's Lamar Jackson, and we're comparing a skill set. The skill set of being able to run the football. That's it.
But I'm not just gonna jump to saying that he can even come close to replicating what Lamar Jackson did.
We're not saying he's gonna come close to replicating. I'm asking you, did we score more than 17 points?
No.
Okay, then that's delusional. Then you guys hate the guy. So then hate him. Ryan, you never watched him play football then. You never watched him. If you're gonna tell me we can score 17 more points.
I mean, that's wrong.
No, because it's a dislike and a pick, and now you're going to tell me that he wouldn't have a better game than Josh McCown? Stop it. Freaking stop it. The guy had a bad hand.
So every guy that's translating in college is translating in the NFL?
That's what I said, Ryan. That's what I said. Yep.
No, I mean, you keep talking about what he did in college, and he has not done anything in the NFL. He's done nothing in the NFL.
Oh, sorry, bro, because I didn't know he didn't play in the NFL yet.
You keep talking about college.
Of all time. I'm translating the skill set, Ryan. Well, now you're going back to college. You went from Lamar Jackson now to college. We're not circling all around. I'm telling you that you're telling me this skill set can't put up more than 17 points.
No, not when you lost. When you got shredded with Brandon Brooks, Brandon Graham, Miles Sanders, you lost half the team in that game. It wasn't just about the quarterback play. You lost half the team. So it doesn't matter who was at the quarterback. You were not winning that football game. You lost Brandon. I'll say it. Brandon Brooks, Brandon Graham, Lane at one point.
I know we lost. That's not the point. The point was we were in that football game. Do you understand that? The point is you were in the football game. So listen, if your starters in the game and guys go down, that's the game you should win. So if a guy I used the 53rd pick on is in the game, I should be able to win that football game then. So what I'm talking about when I talk about his college stuff is I have to, because to your genius point of telling me that he never played in the NFL game, which I didn't know, I missed it. Now you're telling me
we're getting offended.
I'm not offended. You can roll your eyes because you make terrible arguments, and then
you got to listen back then if I'm making terrible arguments.
Right. You made him for about 3 weeks now that I exposed that ass, and then you come back and tell me to go listen.
Expose what?
I know what I said. I don't forget what I said. You're trying to tell me that I'm talking about college. That's the only place he played. What am I gonna evaluate it on? So your genius point telling me about that he never played in the pros?
Well, your genius point, I don't watch college football, so I guess we're circling back in with this.
Because you think he stinks, dude. Because you think he stinks.
When did that ever leave my mouth? Again, talking about we're not remember what people say. When did that ever leave my mouth? That Jalen Hurts stinks.
Do you think he's good now?
Huh?
Do you think he's good?
I'm saying that
I wasn't a huh. Do you think he's good?
Do you
think he's going to be good?
Eventually, yeah. I do. Not day one to win a freaking playoff game against Seattle with all of the pieces that you lost on offense and defense.
It's not day one. You're assuming he was there the whole season.
Okay, well,
he didn't show up for the playoff game. He didn't show up for your freaking stupid conversation. Now he just showed up for the playoffs. Now that's the day he showed up. Day one.
Would he have
said day one? Now we're going to watch the field.
Day one on the field, absolutely. Day one on the field.
How's that day one? How do we know that's day one?
So is day one sitting on the bench? Is day one sitting on the bench? Is day one sitting on the bench?
He didn't play any preseason football.
Preseason football is playing against the Seattle Seahawks in the playoffs.
I'm asking you if he didn't get – dude, you want to listen? Then let me finish. I'm asking you if he didn't get – I'm asking you if you use the 53rd round pick on a guy, 53rd pick on a guy, he doesn't play meaningful first-team snaps in preseason? He doesn't play at all?
Sure, but I'm not going to assume because he did something in preseason that he's going to be able to win a ball in the playoffs.
Your argument is all about fucking assumptions. So I have an assumption that he can win a game.
It's the whole argument. It's a hypothetical. It's all assumption.
And then when I try to give you what he did in college to translate to the NFL, what the NFL quarterback position is going, you tell me that he never played in the pros, and I'm going back to college.
Because my point is, at the end of the day, I'm not going to assume that every guy, regardless of what he did, and again, I'm not saying you're assuming this is where you're getting lost here.
I'm never lost, first off, because I'm locked right in here with you. So shake your head again at me, okay? Because I forgot that you're the smartest guy in the room. You shake your head.
When did I ever say this?
Roll your eyes at me.
I'm going to roll your eyes, because again, when did I say this?
You've been around the game so long, so finish.
Again, you continue to get offended with stuff that I'm not even close to being saying.
Never offended.
Well,
okay?
One guy's screaming, the other guy's laughing.
I scream all the time. So now I'm offended?
I hear you.
Get a quote. Now I'm offended. You don't know how this goes then. Must be your first time on here competing with somebody. You put words in my mouth and I exposed it.
I'm putting words in your mouth? Come on,
You already put words in my mouth. You want to put some more in?
Come on, man.
The figure agenda, right? Trying to expose me because maybe it raises your game. Do it because you lost again. You lost again. It's comical. It's getting comical now. It's fun now. Now it's ridiculous. So I can't translate college stuff now because you didn't play in the pros. And I said that every guy that played in college is great. No, I'm telling you, guy won a ton of games.
Go back and find when I said that, and I'll wait.
Say what? You just said that you're going back and looking at college, and that he never played in the pros. You did say that.
Yeah, one guy.
You didn't say it. Are you? Good talk.
Yeah, you left. Julio saying Ralph's happy it isn't him. Yeah, Ralphie's enjoying himself over there. What'd you say? Last Dance was good. Am I right? Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Don saying, yo, my ribs hurt from laughing, dog. It's what we do, brother. Donjo. But guys, we are a quarterback factory now. And that's why, 1 second. Get a t-shirt.
Yeah.
HB Radio /Philly Drinkers. Is there a promo code, Greg? 20% off?
I think it's just A2D.
Gotcha. Let's see. Don, give everybody Snickers bar. Gavin, this is why you subbed A2D. Donjo, I'm loving this. Let's see. As a Cowboys fan, I love to see this level of stress. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with you, Don. The whole thing is hypothetical.
It is hypotheticals.
TTP.
Let me see your comment, brother. Sorry, this was flying.
Y'all want to see I'll respond.
Is it this one? Do y'all believe
it is hypothetical? All right, that's not the argument here. The argument, I'll say it a million times so somebody listens, that you told me that we can't, that all I'm doing is going off of college and you never played in the pros. Then you told me you never said that. And all I'm telling you is, what do I have to go off of, Ryan? Tell me the combine. You want me to go off shorts and a tee? What do you want me to go off of? That's the conversation.
Tom, when you go back
dude, it's about translating. You told me that I was running back to college, and everybody in college that I'm saying is great, and that everybody translates, and that he never played snap in the NFL, and that matters. I never said it didn't. But all I can go off is the leadership in college, the ability to win at 2 different programs, okay, and the ability to do what he did with Tua and be able to handle that situation. And all of them things combined, and a skill set of being able to move in the pocket, a skill set of being able to run, right? To me, the kid can play enough in this league if needed. That was all the conversation was. Just because I'm the only guy who believes he can score more than 17 points, because that's the kind of kid I've seen in college. Like,
and again, in my opinion, I don't believe, because regardless of if it's Tim Tebow, if it's Jalen Hurts, if it's Carson Wentz, if it's friggin' Lamar Jackson, regardless of what they did in college, I don't believe that Jalen Hurts is going to be in that category day one as far as on the field, to where he's going to be ready to win against Russell Wilson in a playoff game. I think he can eventually do that. But like Doug Peterson has said, he believes that he's going to be able to really flourish with a slower paced introduction to the offense, to where he's not saying it's about year one. It's about he's saying that it's an advantage to having not only a 1-year contract with the guy, with having many years of a contract. So I don't truly believe that, regardless of how much playing time he would have gotten in the preseason or in the season against Atlanta, if we're putting him in the same slot with the Josh McCown in the Atlanta Falcons game, I don't believe Jalen Hurts, regardless of if we think he's great, if he's going to be great, or if he's just a guy, I don't think we would have won that playoff game. I don't.
Okay. You guys can think whatever you want. That's the whole point of sports talk. The conversation I had is, and I'll say it again, is you try to tell me I'm not supposed to look at college. Like the guy came from college. You said I'm going back and looking at college. That's what you said to me. What am I missing?
I said that, but I never, again.
Say it again. Listen, let's just go on to Jordan, dude, because you're circling. You're wrong. I apologize that you're wrong, but I'm going to stick up for myself.
And then when you go back and listen to this in the replay, and you find,
I got business.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll clip it.
I'll feel good, to sleep good, and listen to yourself being wrong.
I'll clip it. And when we can't find the part where I say that, then we'll talk. We'll have this.
Say what? You just said you said it. You just told me that oh, you're going off of college. Not everybody from college is great. And then you said you never played in the pros. And I said, I know.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to go off of?
I'm not going to assume that everything is going to translate. That's my point.
I'm asking you, how am I supposed to gauge a player, Ryan? I got to look at what he did in college to translate him. I got to figure out what can translate to the next level. All I'm trying to do is give you reasons on why I think certain things could translate and win a game.
And my point from the beginning is, I understand why
I know your point. You disagree. All I'm telling you.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Okay, great. So don't tell me that I'm not supposed to look at college. Don't tell me in different ways that you never played in the pro being a smartass, and I won't get fired up that.
I wasn't saying
you said it, dude. I can't do this on air, dude. You just said
that's fine. Then move on, because again, I said one thing and I know what I said. That's fine.
Obviously you don't, because the other night you did the same damn thing. So, and I went back and listened, and you were wrong.
What did I say the other night? What did I say the other night?
Exactly. You don't know what you're saying. I can't help you, honey. That's on you.
Clearly you
think right. What am I?
Tell me what I said. Tell me what I said. What did I say
wrong.
the other night?
We're talking about now. You were wrong. I don't know. You said you didn't say something. You did. It is what it is.
So you don't know what I said. Okay. So you don't know.
Dude, it's your words, babe, not mine.
I don't even know what you're referring. I don't even know what you're talking about. So you say I said something. Tell me what I said. I'll wait.
Cool story, dude. You're going to feel good about that? You'll wait. Cool. Wait.
I mean, I don't feel bad, if that's what you're asking.
Okay.
Jordan Doc. Frank, what'd you have on your sign?
Oh, this. Here we go.
Agree.
It was better than good. It's great.
Oh, yeah. It was great. Loved it.
Wow. Something you forgot about. Really cool. See what it takes to be a star.
The only thing that I really wanted to see was more of the Space Jam stuff, like with Bill Murray and all that. But the whole docuseries was great. There were some things I didn't know, especially when they got to the Steve Kerr segment. I had no idea his dad was involved in the attack in Beirut. Like that, I did not know. That was something really interesting that I saw.
So Ralph, how can you honestly?
It was okay. I mean, it was okay.
Of course, there's my answer. I didn't even have to ask the question, and that's my answer. How can you sit there as a LeBron goat, as a LeBron slobber,
No, it was good.
and legit say that he's not the goat?
It was good. I mean, don't forget that he did leave his team. The 94-95 season. They almost went back to the finals without him. So, I mean, did they really need him, during those times? Maybe not. But I just think, how I stand with the LeBron and Jordan situation. I just think LeBron is the better overall athlete than Michael Jordan. If they went
3 of 8.
If they went one-on-one, LeBron is dominating that game. And there's no disagree with it. He's dominating. He'll back you down and dunk on you every single time. LeBron wins one-on-ones. So.
Yeah, I can't agree with that because Jordan was such a great defender that no one gives him credit for, and I can't buy into Jordan letting LeBron back him down like he's Steve Kerr. So.
Yeah, but you don't know that until you actually get the feel of what's going on the court. You know what I mean? You only go off of assumptions and hypotheticals, correct? So
it should have been assumptions and hypotheticals. So what are you supposed to go off of then? Not allowed to. God forbid we look at what guys did in college and try to translate it. That's not allowed tonight, but hypotheticals for our own agendas are allowed, just to confirm with the family out there. I'm not going to stop, by the way. I'm not going to stop. I love you, but I'm not going to fucking stop.
Please don't. I wouldn't expect you to.
Not going to stop. And then, you know what I love? That you three jabronis down there don't even get involved in it. But what a bunch of three crumbs. You guys are going to go hide in the closet and not even get involved in what's said.
I do. I'm just.
Yeah, I mean, have some fun and take a side one time. You know what I mean? Love to have you. Have some fun and take a goddamn side. That's all.
Take a side. I don't think he would have won that game.
That's not the side.
What's the side you want me to pick, Tommy?
We're done, Ralph. We're missing this whole thing tonight. We're missing the whole thing. It's not about that. All right. You guys can think whatever you want about that game. I'm telling you that I think he could have won that game. I'm telling you, I think the skill set, the way the NFL quarterback's going today, he has that ability in terms of moving around. I don't think he's a good pocket passer at all, but I just thought there's some explosive plays could happen. That's all. I don't think the guy's going 14 for 16 and shredding needles. You know what I mean? I just think, hey, maybe he escapes and there's a deep ball, right? Maybe he escapes and runs one for 40 and it changes the whole game. That was all my debate was. I'm not all of a sudden saying Jalen Hurts is this great quarterback. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in the role that he's been in before at the college level, he succeeded coming off the pine in the biggest game of his life. So I got to assume then and hope that in that game, he can still pull the same type of.
Don't forget, though, he did struggle in that national championship game. Don't you forget that now. He struggled in that game
against Georgia, where Tua took over.
No. I'm talking about the other one when he took over for Tua. When Tua got hurt.
When Tua got hurt, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
The whole thing started was.
But the biggest knock on Jalen coming out of college though is that his arm strength it's not there, and it wasn't like that in college either. His arm strength wasn't there either. That's why Tua was more of a polished passer than what Jalen was when he came into that. I should say for scouting reports and stuff like that. He had a better arm than Jalen.
But no question. I'm not changing my
stance. He was better at Tua though, but he was better. He was a better runner and a read option than what Tua was. Tua was more of a pocket passer, more of an arm than what Jalen was. That was the only knock on Jalen, that he doesn't have that arm talent.
No, I completely agree. He doesn't have the arm talent. No, I'm not changing that stance at all. I completely agree with all your guys' assessments on the knocks of him. I don't want to, through all the yelling and screaming and arguing, I don't want that to go overlooked. I agree with that stuff you guys are saying. I just keep running to the fact that can you make a few big plays with your legs?
I mean, of course he's going to make plays. It had Hurts been on this team all season. Yeah, maybe he would keep us in that game, but looking at the rest of the roster that we had at that game, I just don't think it would have been enough. Even if Jalen did fantastic, I mean, I just don't think his performance would have been enough to give us the win.
That's fair. I'm not like, you know what I'm saying, guys? I'm not arguing with you guys on that point. My whole argument got lost. It's not even a big deal anymore. We had it. Everybody wants to listen there. They can go back and listen to us yell and scream at each other. It's fine. And at the end of the day, we're going to have different opinions on him. I just don't want people to think I'm crowning the guy now or he's something special just because I think he could come in and do some things. That's all. And I do love The Last Dance. And, I know Horace Grant doesn't, but, that's Mike, though. That's Mike. Flat out killer. Wanted to make everybody better around them. And
even if they didn't want to be better.
Right.
Yep, and it shows you if you want to be great at something and you continue to just work and work and work and work and work. And that's what he did, man. And once he figured out how to win, right? We always talk about that. Once he figured out how to win, he didn't stop. And I think that's the most important thing. I'm tired of the comparisons, him, LeBron, I'm over it. Like Jordan can play in any era, LeBron can play in any era. The greats can play in any era. So that's a tired argument to me.
But would LeBron survive the bad boys?
Yeah, LeBron, he's 6'8", 250. He'll survive the bad. I think he'll be all right. If Dallas wanted to give him a contract to play football, I would hope he'd be able to survive a little bit of contact at 6'8", 260.
As if I couldn't hate that guy. As if I couldn't hate that guy more.
Well, isn't that a Jerry thing, guys?
Well, even LeBron too, but yes.
Who said that?
What?
GTP.
It's all about assumptions and hypotheticals here, please. Okay?
Any other thoughts on The Last Dance?
I'm still catching up. I haven't watched. I'm not all the way through it yet. So, but no, I mean, I thought it was a great look inside what truly made that guy tick, and that's something that we haven't seen. And I said it on Sunday when we talked about it. If he would have played in this era, in the social media era, with Twitter, with the Insta. Everyone's on the moral, everyone's a moral keyboard warrior and all this. He wouldn't have been who he was in this era just because of the morality police and the Twitterverse coming out and just absolutely just hammering him for doing what made him great and what made him tick.
Like, and then also thing, like you catch yourself. I don't know how far you are in with the whole series though, Greg. So I don't want to spoil anything.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Like the stuff that like Dennis Rodman was doing, like they had him.
Oh my God,
he
that's
went on
goat
a vacation.
shit.
He went on a vacation to Vegas for 48. Well, not even more than 48 hours, right? And just imagine if a player did that during today's one, he would get ripped.
And then the one time where he skipped practice during the NBA Finals to hang out with the New World Order. So I mean that's another crazy thing about Rodman right there.
Yeah.
There's nothing not crazy about Robin, and that's what makes him so great.
Imagine Sixers are Game 6 coming up, big series in the finals, and then you turn on your TV that night and you see Joel Embiid on Monday Night Raw. Well, what are we doing here? But it was different back then. I guess a lot of people didn't, get all up in arms about little shit like that.
Because you didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we obviously knew of Jordan's gambling stuff and how he was in Atlantic City every night. We knew that with Iverson, right?
Yeah.
Iverson was always out partying and stuff like that, but you never knew because unless you were there to see it, it was all, it was all just rumors, right? Yeah. But now everyone's probably taking photos. Can I get a selfie?
Oh, absolutely.
And it's just, it blows up the spot, but that's what made that guy tick. He just wanted to eat in anything.
Yeah. I don't think he would. What they were able to do back then, there's no way they could do that now. With how social media is and stuff like that, there's no way.
No, absolutely not. Even going back to, early on in the series when he's trying to get past the Celtics early on, and he goes out and golfs with Danny Ainge, who's the enemy in between game 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Like, huh? That comes out today. Like Joel Embiid goes out, and him and Karl Anthony Towns are out golfing.
Yeah.
In between the NBA Final Series. Yeah, that goes over real well today.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Big difference.
Are we boring you, Ryan?
Me? No.
Yeah, you look like you were about to yawn right there.
No. I was just going to say, Frank, you said you have something for dumbest thing of the week.
I actually do
Plug
have
it to Julio.
Yeah, I did plug into Julio. I actually have 2 dumb things of the week. My first one happened earlier this week involving the first of the sports that are not under lockdown. I'm going to go with a soccer story this time over in South Korea with the K-League. Oh, see you, Tom. So my first one, we go over to the K-League in South Korea where FC Seoul was taking on Gwangju FC. And, Korea, they've been getting a little bit innovative by putting fans in the stands. And so what FC Seoul did was that they put sex dolls in the stands. And very keen-eyed Korean viewers noticed that there were these particular dolls in the stands, and now they're getting fined 10 million won, which is 82,000 US dollars. They're one of the largest fines in the K-League. But FC Seoul did win 1-0. And my second dumbest thing in the week goes to America's favorite pizza eating rat. And no, I am not talking about Dave Portnoy. I'm talking about Mr. Chuck E. Cheese. Grubhub users got a little bit tricked that ordering from Pasquale's Pizza, you're actually getting Chuck E. Cheese. So apparently customers got tricked by this local joint called Pasquale's. Turns out they were getting Chuck E. Cheese at work. Those who don't know who Pasquale is the name of the pizza chef that makes all the pizzas at your Chuck E. Cheese location. And he's also the drummer of Mr. Munch's Make Believe Band, featuring Helen Henny, the singer, Mr. Munch, the keyboardist, and Jasper T. Jowls, the greatest guitar player since Eddie freaking Van Halen. And they could put out a better hit than Nickelback. It worked.
What freaking planet did I land on?
Wow.
You're on planet Vespe, Brodo, and you're going to enjoy the stay. And those are my dumb things of the week.
Greg.
Skip me. There's nothing to be mad about. There's nothing's on TV.
Whatever Frank just said.
My dumbest thing of the week.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say, go ahead. Yeah, Greg, go ahead.
No, just the dumbest thing over the last couple of weeks is just the crazy idiots that are following these delivery drivers with their cameras, thinking that these delivery drivers, these FedEx, UPS guys, are out there trying to do anything. Like, can we just leave the guys alone? They're just trying to do their job.
Yep.
I see these guys walking up and down the street with packages. Well, what else are they supposed to do with them? Like, come on.
Yeah, my dumbest thing of the week is the last 2 minutes of my life. No, excluding the Greg thing. Just the Frank thing. Ralph, you're not mad at anything, Ralphie?
No, I don't have anything.
Is it all because of hypotheticals and assumptions?
But fam, once again, get your Quarterback Factory t-shirts, because I guarantee you the Quarterback Factory t-shirt is better than the actual Quarterback Factory. If that's even still a thing, according to Doug Peterson or Howie Roseman. Who knows at this point? Any final here you go, Julio. The dumbest thing is announcing Hurts as quarterback number 3. Yeah, I will say that. I will agree completely with that. Any last minute things, boys, before we head out of here?
Well, programming alert for
back, because I need the Lakers to win a goddamn championship this year. Hopefully NHL comes back so I can see the goddamn Flyers win a cup. Hopefully MLB comes back so I can watch, the Phillies win a World Series. And hopefully the NFL comes back so we can see Jalen Hurts ride the bench. Other than that, we're pretty good.
Programming alert, Frank?
Yes, because on Lazy Booking at 9:30, the one, the only Mr. Ken Shamrock will be joining the show for an interview.
I didn't have to hit it.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, it's tomorrow night, right?
Tomorrow night.
And then Friday we have
Pat Combs of the former
2 p.m. Friday.
Yep. 2 p.m. Friday. And I believe on Saturday there is another guest as well, correct?
Yeah.
I think it is. Let me pull it up.
Frank, you're in charge of the graphics, sir, so you would know that better than I would. I just know listen, fam. Well, Frank.
Brian Boone Kelleher, he is a UFC fighter. He'll be on Saturday for the weekly roundup.
Nice.
As an overall fam, we've got a lot of exciting things coming to the platform, obviously interview-wise and just show-wise. Obviously we have the draft series every Tuesday on Birds of a Feather with myself, Tom, and the boys from Birds of a Feather. Obviously this show every week. The hockey guys, obviously, the wrestling with all their guests, the individual guest shows, and we have a lot of exciting things that we have yet to announce officially, but we're working on. So we appreciate you guys regardless of if you just joined us today in the last 5 minutes or if you joined us, all those years ago when we joined and we started this thing. We really, really appreciate all the feedback and obviously you guys chiming in on all the shows because, like Tom says all the time, hold on. Tom. Come to my channel. We are interviewing the great Corey Unlin.
Now, will there be lions in your interview room?
Yeah, you might need them. Dan Joe says link to shirt. If you're watching, so head over to our Facebook. You could see the link over there, or just go to phillydrinkers.com/A2D radio, and you'll see it. For all the shirts, by the way.
Looks like he's on YouTube.
Oh, Julio.
Yeah, I'm
Hey, Ralph, does that remind you of anything?
Yeah, we actually do have a soccer show. Hopefully, when we get back in the studio, the Premier League's not going on and stuff like that. So,
but they could have been talking about the sex dolls at the K League.
Jesus.
Thanks, Danjo.
Thank you, Danjo.
Especially because that's a comment to get me away from whatever the hell Frank just said. Yeah, and true, Gavin. Chris Pronger's coming on June the 4th. Another one. Here you go.
That's what I was thinking of, the herd of beers. Yeah.
Yes. But fam, we appreciate you, obviously. So if you just joined us, if you haven't subscribed already over on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, wherever you're watching us, and especially for YouTube and Facebook, it's important, especially now that we're back on the main page, A2D Radio. Make sure you hit the notification bell on YouTube and Facebook. It says get reminder on Facebook, and it just says, obviously, on YouTube. It's just the bell. That way you're notified.
Yeah.
You guys get a text message, an alert, an email, whatever you guys set it to, whenever we go live as a show, whenever we go live as a platform, because that way you don't obviously miss us, but any of the other shows. We have shows nearly every single day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 a day, depending on how crazy we want to get. And it's going to continue to grow and grow and grow as obviously you guys continue to join us. And to Ralphie's point, especially when sports comes back, that'll be fun. That'll be really, really fun.
Yep.
Thanks, Gavin. We appreciate you. Mr. Vespe, you want to do the on-air read, sir?
Which one do you want me to read?
Whichever ones you want, sir.
You know what? I will. You know what? I'll be like the little girl in the taco commercials. Why not both?
I'll give you a good answer. Read the ones that are ours.
Yes. So we are brought to you by our doctor, Dr. Paul Vidal, and the rest of the gang over at Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC. They have 3 locations over in Burlington, Cherry Hill, and Princeton. Please make them yours. And also check out our gutter guys over at Ambuck Services. They are the gutter and they can do a lot of things around your house. They definitely need the business. You can give them a call at 856-879-5530. Mention us and you get 20% off. Am I right?
Yes, 20% off.
20% off, so you can get those decks nice and ready to go, those gutters nice and clean. Spring is around the corner. Summer, you got to have that summer barbecue once this quarantine is lifted. So you're going to invite all your friends to your house to see all this brand new gutters and decks. So give Services a call at 856-879-5530.
Like Frank said earlier, hockey happy hour tomorrow night, lazy booking tomorrow night.
Yes.
Special guest on lazy booking, Ken Shamrock. Make sure you join in. Make sure you come ready for all your questions, because whether or not we're gonna be asking, obviously, some of the questions that you guys submit, but he's also gonna see them. We pop them right on the show.
Yeah.
Like we always said, we obviously interact with all you guys.
Yep.
But you guys we all see your comments. Literally,
Yes, we
TTP. Great show as always, y'all. We appreciate you, TTP.
Absolutely.
But for us here, obviously, Tom Arnone, Ralph Dellavecchio, Frank Vespe, Greg Milakovic, I'm Ryan Brodo. Shout out to everybody who's commenting along, joining in on the conversation. Jason Peters' comeback tour begins when, Ralph?
Never.
Starts hopefully soon. Later, fam.
Later.
Frank, can you hit it? My button's not working.
I will do it for you.
Oh, yeah, I got it.